In the shadow of the truth, where lies cower and crumble, I call your names, but none of you arise. I call your names. Trembles in the halls of fear. Ecclesial anxiety, his mind unclear. He hears my call, yet avoids the fight, hiding in the darkness, nowhere in sight. Niga.net plays with children's toys at night. Needs a face full of makeup to enter the light. Debates only fans, girls who have lost the way. But when Soren calls him out, he's gone, he's dismayed. I rise to the challenge, the fire of the word. All of them retreat, their hearts are disturbed. No armor, no shield, just trembling in shame. For truth, the thing they cannot claim. They run from the gauntlet, they flee my call. Truth unites me, God. Bible in context, trying to stall. Canon and creed, his mind is broken with my gaze. They all flee into a haze. Talks smack like a star, but when confronted he retreats afar. Tail between his legs, no valor in sight. Cloaked with cowardice in the face of a fight. Canon and creed, his mind crashed out. A psychological collapse is what he's about. The truth is relentless, the word is a sword. None can stand, none dare draw toward. I call them to reason, to clash in the fray, but all melt away, their courage to stray. No answers, no counter, just fear in their eyes. Truth in my voice now fly. They run from the gauntlet, they flee my call. Truth unites, need God. Bible in context, trying to stall. Canon and creed, his mind is broken with my gaze. They all flee into a haze. Oh. They cannot stand. Truth unites, trembles, need God turns to sand. Bible in context runs in cowardly flight. Canon and creed, he collapses in fright. The word prevails, the faithful see. Truth most powerful makes heterodox flee. The battle need God, Bible in context, trying to stall canon and creed. His mind is broken with my gaze. They all flee into a haze. They run from the gauntlet, they flee my call. Truth unites me, God, Bible in context, trying to stall canon and creed. His mind is broken with my gaze. To a haze. Whoa.
What is up, guys? That song was in honor of Gavin Ortland, Truth Unites, Canon and Creed, Bible in Context, and Need God. That was my AI diss track for all of them because I've been laying down the gauntlet trying to get all these guys to talk, and none of them want to talk. They all run away. They're all scared. And today we're going to talk about another guy who is scared to address orthodoxy's best arguments. We're going to be talking about Trent Horan. So here we go. We're not going to waste any time today. We're going to get right into it. Actually, first, I need to acknowledge Orthodox Kyle here. Austin Rain 7 with $4.99 super chat. Thank you right off the bat. Very generous. Thank you, Austin. Trent is going to need to file a personal injury claim after this one. More like intentional infliction of emotional distress claim. That's probably what he's going to need. So, yeah, I got a shout out from Orthodox Kyle, which is pretty cool because he's a cool guy. So...
this, like, same with Shameless Joe. When I made my video on him, like, he really selectively shows things and he doesn't really get into it, versus like Orthodox people like Alex Soren, Jay Dyer, like Orthodox priests, like anyone on Orthodox YouTube, David Erhan, Ubi Petrus, they all go into extreme depth on these issues, versus like the Catholic Answers apologetics are very, very low tier. Or even
this is true, what Orthodox Kyle just said. Jay and myself and Ubi and David Erhan, we are all very detail-oriented. And the Roman Catholics, they can be detail-oriented, but it's on the wrong things. They're detail-oriented on the wrong things. So I just wanted to acknowledge that because Kyle, he doesn't need to do that. He's got a much bigger channel than I do, but I appreciate the name drop there. Now, there's one other thing as well, is that Trent was actually right. He caught Jay being wrong about something. I'm going to play the clip right now. That Jay was wrong about. Here it is.
And so, Jay, are you ready?
Yeah, one thing I would like to say is just from the outset, thanks to Trent for doing this. And as I was telling Trent beforehand, I've watched several of his debates, at least 3 of them, and I think he's a really skilled debater. And the other thing that I appreciate about Trent is that I think he's a sincere person. And a lot of times in this domain, people probably aren't that sincere. At least not as often as we would hope, but I think that Trent is a sincere guy, so I'm looking forward to a fruitful debate today.
It appears that Jay was proven completely wrong on this claim. Okay, so Jay was utterly refuted. Trent is, at least if we're going to judge him off this latest video, he is not a good debater, and he is not a good faith debater either. So mean, I know. They put me in a position where I have to be, you know. It happens to the best of us. And also when there's bad video, guys, where there are bad arguments, not as in you don't like the person, as in the content is bad, don't forget to give it a thumbs down. You're actually doing them a favor because it still does increase engagement. You're just showing that you don't like it. So there are a few things that I would like to mention before. I'm going to poison the well here for you guys. Can you believe that guy on X? Maybe I'll pull up that post. He's accusing me of poisoning the well. Like, dude, what is the title to this stream again? Council of Trent sloppy hit piece on Jay Dyer. I'm going to demonstrate by undisputed facts it is sloppy. and it is also a hit piece because like now I'm speaking off the cuff, but like literally, not literally, but virtually half of the video, at least my impression just looking through it, there's a lot of it is just clips of Jay. And not like Jay in a formal debate setting, like presenting his argument in the best words possible, like clips of his stream that you know, are trying to get him like where he's trying to do comedy and also teach things at the same time. And I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I know Jay addressed this in his own stream, and Jay can I'm sure, I didn't watch that entire stream, but I'm sure that he's very adequate at defending himself. It wouldn't be his first time. So I'm going to spend a little more time on the actual bad arguments that Trent brought up. And there are a few things that stuck out to me because I did watch this one, because you know why I watched this one and I didn't watch Cannon and Creed's is because Cannon and Creed's video was like 2 freaking hours, dog. I'm not going to watch that and take notes. That's insane. Trent, at least for has the viewers in mind, and he has a 15-minute video here, a 15-minute video. So I watched it maybe once or twice, and I took some notes, and there are a few things I think we should look out for. First of all, there is no apples to apples comparison between the Pope and anything that any Orthodox person does. Okay? There is no adequate comparison between those things because there is no bishop in Orthodoxy that can simply issue an encyclical and have that be binding on each of the individual faithful and each of the individual shepherds in the church. There is no bishop that can do that. And so there is no apples to apples comparison because the Pope has special jurisdictional and authoritative powers that no bishop anywhere ever for all time ever has had, right? Because they made them up. So look out for any time he says something like, oh, well, the Orthodox criticize us for this, but look at what they do. It is not an apples to apples comparison. It never can be. It never will be. Another thing to look out for is Trent likes to say like magisterial contradictions do not debunk Roman Catholicism because not all magisterium is infallible. Okay, so I'll repeat that again. The logic is magisterial contradictions do not debunk Roman Catholicism because not all magisterium is infallible. So Trent is of the mind that if you're going to have a system level destroyer, it has to be infallible. Okay, like 2 infallible dogmas that are in a straight up contradiction that you cannot resolve. I do not think that is the case because you cannot live a coherent lifestyle when you have to believe 2 different things, regardless of whether they're fallible or infallible. 5 gifted from Compendium. Thank you very much, Contemporary Compendium. And $5. Go get him, counselor. Thank you for using my my actual title. I appreciate that. Very good. Cleave. Magisterium cannot err. Yeah, so if you have a contradiction in the magisterium, that defeats the worldview. Moreover, you cannot live a coherent life when you have 2 things that you are obligated to believe and they contradict each other. And like Jay brought up, I think unum sanctum. Make sure my book's great. One of my books fell over. Like unum sanctum is I think the biggest one. And I have, this is a approved translation of these documents. It says, I can't think of any stronger language than this. At the end of unum sanctum, it says, it is absolutely necessary for the salvation of all human creatures that they submit to the Roman pontiff. You have to believe this. And you also have to believe Vatican II, which talks about estranged brethren that do not submit to the Roman pontiff. You cannot live a coherent life trying to believe those 2 things. You can't. And then Jay's right, magisterium cannot err. If you have a contradiction in magisterium, you have an enormous problem. Yeah, I love that Cleave to Antiquity is back. That's awesome. Sure, Rome has apples, but Orthodoxy has oranges. Trent Horn, bro, it's so cringe. And this guy on X accused me of poisoning the well. Dude. Yeah, this guy right here. This goon. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I know. Chad Autist, if you're here, I wish you well. I hope you join Holy Orthodoxy. I'm just very frustrated at how ridiculous this is. So I say Trent Horn sloppy attack on Jay Dyer. And like here I renamed it to like sloppy hit piece or something. This guy says that I'm poisoning the well. Dude, Trent Horn is calling Jay names in the title. Like, God, this is just part of the game. This is not poisoning the well, man. Things Above 77 says, love your content, brother. Thank you, Things Above. You are the man. Okay. So you see that the thing that I'm being accused of, Trent Horn did literally the exact same thing in his thumbnail. And when we get to the video here in a second, you'll see that the first thing out of his mouth is poisoning the well. Trent about to be litigated. Yeah, that's right. $5 from Journey of Abundance. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Trent about to be Trent about to get litigated. Dude, that was so incoherent. My brain couldn't even register on the screen. $2 from Onyx Rock N1M. Thank you for the $2. Onyx, Council of Fent. That's I don't know if I'll go that far. I wouldn't say he doesn't strike me as a drug. He strikes me as like a very like belt and suspenders kind of guy, where he doesn't want to take any risks. He doesn't want his pants to fall down ever. He's going to wear a belt and suspenders, even though it's ridiculous. So let's go to Trent's video. Literally, the first words out of his mouth are poisoning the well. Okay, are we ready, guys? Let me make sure I don't have a boomer moment. Okay, here we go.
Even though Eastern Orthodox Christians only make up 1% of the American and 4% of the global population, I've been...
What does that have to do with anything? That Orthodox Christians are 1% of the U.S. population and 4% of the world. Let's just grant him those statistics for the sake of argument. Objection, relevance? What does that have to do with anything? The amount of Orthodox Christians that there are has absolutely nothing to do with the truth value of orthodoxy. And I can see why this like drives Jay crazy, because they make the same fallacies over and over and over and over again. The first thing out of his mouth is a literal fallacy. The first thing out of his mouth, and I'm being accused of poisoning the well. First thing out of his mouth is literally poisoning the well, dude. The 1% got all of them pressed. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Trent's going to go run to Mecca and pray with his fellow brother and sister Muslims. I don't think they'll ever live that down. And I think people are seeing more and more that these apologists, they keep on buying into this agenda of syncretism and a one world religion that we've been warned about. I've been hearing since the late 2000s, says Jay. Jay, I don't know how you have like any semblance of sanity left. I've been listening to it for like, I don't know, not that long, and I'm about to gouge my eyes out, man. Like the same over and over and over again, the same fallacies, the same poisoning the well, and the same people too. If it was like different people, then like fine, maybe we can give them some grace and like they'll learn a little bit, but it's the same people. I don't even trust those poll numbers. I don't trust them either. I also don't trust those poll numbers. But like for the sake of argument, it's like it's completely irrelevant to whether Orthodox apologists have valid arguments or not. Okay, so let's keep going here.
Even though Eastern Orthodox Christians only make up 1% of the American and 4% of the global population, I've been seeing more posts from them saying Christians should leave their churches and come home to Orthodoxy.
Based Ben Luigi mentioned right there. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but yeah. So this has nothing to do with the topic. It's wholly irrelevant. It's only meant to poison the well and to make it sound like, as you'll see later in the video, he tries to make it look like, the orthodoxy online is just like a very loud and rowdy minority, and that's not what orthodoxy is in real life. Dude, what's your argument? It has nothing to do with whether the argument is valid or not. This is just cope. It's 100% cope.
And come home to Orthodoxy. And some of the reasons these apologists give undermine their own Orthodox commitments. So in today's episode, we'll look at those reasons, and I'll share my thoughts on engaging in Orthodox polemics and help.
Yeah, so right off the bat, where he says that some of the arguments that Orthodox Christians make undermine their own position. It's just untrue because our positions are different. So I can levy a criticism on the papal system without having the same effect on our decentralized system. 1999 from Micah Stein 336 through Super Chat. Thank you. There's no question, just out of the goodness of Micah's heart with the fat wallet there. I appreciate that. Micah, if you have something to say and you put it in the chat, I'll read it out. W. Ben Luigi. Yeah, that's right. Ibarra just hit my screen like a flashbang. I have seen that he's been trying to lose weight lately, and honestly, I probably have to get that under control too. I wasn't anticipating, my YouTube channel growing so quickly. I'm just a 33-year-old lawyer from the Midwest, but I got to be a little more aware of my appearances. So it looks like Trent is flailing. Yeah. You should wear to your debates a judge's coat and that funny white wig that British lawyers wear and just start saying relevance. Yeah, I might do that and then just like take it off. I might do that in my debate with Yassi. But anyway, okay, I don't want to get lost in the comments. I'm being disciplined today, guys. I'm getting back to the video here. So this is when he tries to say his script was reviewed by an Orthodox priest, but he never says that he made any changes pursuant to the review of the Orthodox priests. So I'm sure maybe there were some changes that he implemented, right? But in my mind, I'm just thinking like, dude, I can't assume things. All I know is what he said, right? I don't know what he didn't say. I can't assume what he didn't say. We have to like complete the circle in these things. So he had an Orthodox priest review his script. He didn't say he made any changes pursuant to feedback from that Orthodox priest.
Polemics. And to help me do that, I've asked Eastern Orthodox priest Father Laurent Kleinwork, author of He's Broken Body, Understanding and Healing the Schism Between the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox Churches, to review today's script. All right, the worst...
Great. That's like, I'm going to send this to the Pope to review. He's not going to review my thing. Great, fine.
Arguments Eastern Orthodox apologists make against Catholicism are the ones that would also apply to their own church. And to be clear, what I'm talking about seems to be unique.
This is so stupid because we criticize the Pope and we don't have a Pope. Hello? Wake up, Trent. Wake up. Our criticisms are of the Filioque, which we don't have, and the Pope, which we don't have. Wake up. Father Lawrence wants to be a uniate so bad. That makes sense. Maybe he did put his big fat stamp of approval on the script before sending it out. Yeah, I think there's a lot of this attitude of sacrificing truth for the sake of peace. Father Lawrence is a mega ecumenist. Shocker. I mean, yeah. Thanks for the comments, Jay. I think that adds a lot of context to what's going on here. Ibarra ate all of Trent's good arguments. That's funny, dude. Let's talk God. Ibarra ate all of Trent's good arguments. Come on. He's trying to lose weight, guys. Let's take a page out of Gavin Ortland. That is funny, though. I'll give it to you. But we can take a page out of Gavin Ortland's book and be ironic. Like, technically, he only claimed he asked for a review, not that he actually got the review. Ah, yes. Look, you guys are learning how to think like a lawyer in here. So... read Father Stephen's. Father Stephen's in here, dude. I'm like equally shocked each time because I just have such high regard for him. Father Stephen DeYoung in the chat, guys. W's for dude. Stacked chat again. It's like the other nights. We have Jay, Ortho Pope himself. We have Father Stephen DeYoung. It's just like how all through the Bible, the big majority is right about everything, and you should ignore the prophetic minority calling them to repent. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's spot on. Thank you for bringing that to my attention that he commented and I missed it. So let's get back to Trent. I'm being disciplined tonight, guys.
To Eastern Orthodox who spend a lot of time arguing on the internet. Like many terminally online people, what I'm talking about seems to be unique to Eastern Orthodox who spend a lot of time arguing on the internet.
Yeah, so again, he's not addressing the arguments. He's trying to malign our character, dog. This is a blunder. And people think that, like, dude... people think that I'm overstating it when I say that this is a slop hit piece. These are blunders, dude. This is a professional apologist sponsored by Catholic Answers. Do you know what we could do? Like, dude, put me, Christian, Mario, Ben, Luigi, Jay, and Bryce, and all these up-and-comers, like Orthodox Kyle. Yeah, I feel bad whenever I list things because I know I'm going to forget people. David Erhan, Ubi Petrus. Put us all in a room and sponsor us all with an organization like Catholic Answers. Dude, imagine what we could do if we had the resources that they have. And then apparently I am improperly saying that this is a slop hit piece. Dog, get out of here. That's nonsense. Look at what he said. We're 48 seconds in, and in that short amount of time, he's managed to poison the well, present irrelevant facts, and try to malign these the arguments that we're presenting as we're like, oh, some fringe ortho bros. Like, this is utter nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I can't believe that this passed the Catholic Answers filter to get out there on YouTube. This is slop. This is sloppy. It's very bad work. So this is not ironic. Trent Horn, this is not your best work. You can do better than this because I've seen you do better than this. I met Ubi in Vegas. Dude is an upstanding guy. Dude, when I messaged him on Twitter to reach out, just like talk about papacy stuff, he was like very forthcoming and like open. He's a cool guy. I like him. Very friendly, just like literally everybody else. So, okay, let's get back. I would have guessed the male feminist makes backhanded comments and gossips like a woman. Look at this passive aggressiveness, dog. What is that? Just be like, look, whether you like us or not has absolutely nothing to do with the validity or invalidity of an argument.
Like many terminally online people, the internet can deaden your ability to think critically.
Objection, relevance. He's wasting time to malign our character. This is literally the dictionary definition of poisoning the well. The very thing that I was accused of doing. I can't believe the double talk. It's ridiculous. Your ironic talk isn't believable, sorry. I mean, 100 ELO opening by Trent, yeah. I dislike your online argument. Everyone is online. It's 2025. Fair point. We could be wasting our time on trash. It's not an insult. Trent identifies as a male feminist. Yeah, this is not an insult. This is, he said himself, these are his own words. So, okay, moving. I'm 53 minutes in and my blood pressure is through the roof already. Or 53 seconds in and my blood pressure is through the roof already. So, all right, let's take some deep breaths and continue on here.
It lulls you into a complacency where you post whatever feels good or based, and you don't stop to think if what you're posting makes sense. For example,
because it's freaking Twitter, dog. Like, wake up, man. It's Twitter. You have a character limit, and like, even if you have premium and you get the extra characters, you only get to see a certain number of characters, dude. It's like, this is not the forum you go to look for nuanced positions on things. Twitter is the realm for smack talk, quick, witty remarks. It's, if you're looking for a theological exposition, you go to somebody's like YouTube channel where they're in a formal setting. This is so dumb. I'm sorry, Trent. I want to be nicer to you, but like, you're gonna have to, like, this is not your best work, my friend.
One common post by Eastern Orthodox critics of Catholicism goes like this. The Pope did something the poster doesn't like or thinks is cringe, like blessing a block of ice at an event about climate change. Therefore, Catholics should become Eastern Orthodox. But cringe isn't a synonym for heresy. And the patriarchs of the Eastern Orthodox Church also...
Okay, whenever he makes a comparison of the Bishop of Rome to the patriarchs, remember, this is not a valid comparison. It's not an apples to apples comparison. The Pope has, again, authoritative and jurisdictional powers that there is no person in Orthodoxy that is a parallel to what the Pope is. There is none. And again, I don't think we said it's heretical because he blessed ice. I think a lot of us just thought it was weird. I think the part that's an issue is that he wasn't just blessing ice. It was a statement in support of a certain agenda, a worldwide agenda about climate change. This is seriously so dishonest. Come on, Trent. Well, like, here, I cannot read his mind. I don't know if he's being dishonest or not. What I do know is that this is slop. Like I said, it's sloppy work. It's sloppy work, and you'll see in a moment here that it's a hit piece. It is basically a hit piece. He just keeps on talking about Jay the whole time. He didn't mention, like, we do have other big Orthodox influencers. Harmony is a channel that has like 200,000 subscribers, puts out Orthodox material, apologetic material even. Like, yes, Jay is probably like the figurehead for online Orthodox apologetics, like, without a doubt. But like, we have Father Moses, who also has a large channel, which he mentions, maybe I should react to Joe Heschmeyer as well. on that, because that was also just a character assassination. But dude, I'm behind in the chat. Jay says he was aligning with Davos, the WEF. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was aligning with a certain worldwide climate change agenda. So I think that's the problem that we had with it. Not that it was like, not the act of blessing the the climate change ice ball. Like, Stephen Growth, 1764, 499 through Super Chat. Thank you for the donation. Maybe Trent should learn from the politicians who lost their election due to slandering the voting base. Yeah, you aren't going to win anyone over by that. Yeah, the basket of deplorables. You're not going to win anyone over with that. So yeah, and also don't forget, the whole reason why they want us to convert to Roman Catholicism is because they're saying, hey, look, the Pope is unique. The Pope is special. The Pope has special powers. That's why you should join our position. Suddenly, you know, we start talking about like all the super fishy things that he's aligning himself with, and like the worldwide syncretist agendas that he's aligning himself with. And now it's like, well, your patriarchs do the same thing. Well, hold on a minute. I thought your Pope had special powers, and that's the whole reason why I should be Roman Catholic. But it's just become such an untenable position to defend. Father Stephen DeYoung says, the Pope stole that from me. I used to bless a frozen river every theophany. Yeah, I mean, yeah, without a doubt, he stole it from you. He saw the book Religion of the Apostles, and he's like, dude, I got to take a page out of Father Stephen DeYoung's book for sure. The grinder papacy. Oh man, I'm getting demonetized in this video for sure. Okay. Anyway, there is no valid apples to apples comparison here. And the thing with the ice ball was that he was supporting a certain like weird climate change, globalist climate change agenda. Like Jay mentioned, WEF and Davos. Alex, read the title of the article on the screen.
Cringe,
all right,
like blessing a block of ice at an event about climate change. Therefore, Catholics should become Eastern Orthodox. But cringe isn't a synonym.
Notice he quoted Jay. The first person he quotes on Twitter is Ben Luigi. The next person he quotes, there was like a girl, I don't know, forgive me, I forgot. But then like now he's starting to talk only about Jay.
For heresy. And the patriarchs of the Eastern Orthodox.
Yeah, so Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew calls for a radical change of mentality to deal with climate crisis. Yeah, so this does not say what Trent is trying to tell us. It says. So, of course, I'm not under any illusion that, like, you know, His All Holiness, EP Bartholomew, is like some based, extremely traditional conservative, kind of guy with this kind of perspective. But I mean, this is not saying the same thing that the Pope said. Like, this is not express. I'm sure there are other quotes that do that, but this is again just sloppy work, because this is not the equivalent of what the Pope was doing when he was blessing the climate control ice ball. 4.99 super chat from your mom's lasagna. Thank you. Coptic Orthodox on a video specifically about addressing holy orthodoxy. Was that the other person? I might have missed it.
Church also do things the poster probably.
Oh, this is what you're talking about. Yes. Egypt's Ministry of Environment, Coptic Orthodox Church site. Blunder, dude. This is a blunder. Utter blunder. Like, again, who at Catholic Answers thought this was okay to put out through the door? This is just sloppy work.
Probably doesn't like, such as supporting efforts to combat climate change. Plus, what's wrong with the Pope blessing ice, given that Catholics and Orthodox bless themselves with holy water all the time?
Again, we addressed that. It's the statement behind it.
If there are Orthodox priests who bless ballistic missiles, then
again, you cannot compare a priest to the Roman pontiff. There is no apples to apples comparison here. This is dishonest. Yeah, there I go. I used the word dishonest. I broke my own rule. Okay, I should self-censor. I cannot say it's dishonest because I cannot read his mind, guys. I can say for sure this is bad product. It's bad work. It's bad product.
Then the Pope can bless frozen water. Or Orthodox apologists will say if the Pope makes a doctrinal error, then all of Catholicism is false, and so all of Orthodoxy must be true.
No, we're not saying mistakes, dude. We're saying in your ordinary magisterium, right? Like, let's not get too crazy. The things that you have to believe as a Catholic, those things contradict. That's not a mistake. A mistake is like, okay, you go and you change it later because there's a mistake. We're not talking about mistakes. We're talking about magisterial contradictions. So this is, again, poisoning the well, straw manning. He's not interacting with the best that Orthodoxy has to offer. David Swarsky donated $5. Thank you, David. God bless you. I appreciate the quality of work you've been putting out. An even-tempered legal mind is very much needed in the orthoverse. Keep up the good work. Well, I'm doing the best I can. Thank you. Sometimes we get emotional too, we lawyers. We get a little passionate about things. So, I mean, sometimes I take it too far, but I try to keep a conservative approach. I try to say things. Yeah, this is all litigators will think this way. How can I say this as strongly as possible without overstating it? Right. Papists sound like, to me, like prots sound to papists. That's funny. Cool. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Let's get back to the video.
I saw a lot of posts like this when Pope Leo reaffirmed the Catholic Church's
second J tweet. Okay. What was formerly Roman Catholic natural justice, like when the papacy said homosexuality is a capital offense at the time of Trent, has now developed, and the death penalty is one of the clearest papal contradictions. Okay, remember, you cannot compare the Pope to any clergy in the Orthodox Church because there is no Orthodox Pope. And let's see what he does immediately after this.
opposition to the death penalty. But Eastern Orthodox patriarchs and even groups like the Orthodox Church in America.
Okay, is a patriarch the equivalent of the Pope? Is the OCA the equivalent of the Pope? I don't know. Can they send out an apostolic letter or an encyclical and bind each of the individual faithful and each of the individual shepherds of the church with like the flick of a pen? Nobody has that power in Orthodoxy. You cannot make this comparison. It's a bad comparison. Father Stephen DeYoung says, papal infallibility doesn't mean he can't make typos. Orthodoxy refute. Yeah. That was his point with the mistake thing. Good evening, Schmiegmore. Thank you for joining us. Soren climbing up to the top. I hope so, man. God willing. And then hopefully he also gives me the wherewithal to hang with the top as well, because it's one thing to get there. It's another thing to maintain high performance. So, I just try to do my best to keep my prayer roll. And I appreciate, there's a lot of accountability, as I mentioned earlier, in the Orthodox online community. Father Stephen DeYoung here, he's in the chat. He will very swiftly correct me. My spiritual father will very swiftly correct me. I'm on pretty good terms with all of the other Orthodox YouTubers. like I said on that St. Isaac the Syrian thing, Father Peter texted me almost immediately after I posted that video, and he corrected me on that. So yeah, a very good quality control in the Orthodox online sphere. Very, very good quality control. Much better quality control than whoever permitted Trent to post this. This is very bad. This is horrible. This is okay, if I was grading this in university, this would be an F. It's F for failure. Very, very bad.
Have opposed the death penalty as well. Here's a priest on the popular YouTube channel, Roots of Orthodoxy.
We don't believe in abortion.
A priest is not the equivalent to the Pope. Again, literally the same fallacy for 2 minutes, over and over again.
We don't believe in euthanasia. The death penalty subverts God's will for a person's life. Even if the government kills a person in response to a crime.
Trent is just being lazy? Yeah, it's sloppy work. It's bad work. It's sloppy. Andy's, this is a funny comment from Andy's. He said, when I read Father Stephen's post, I always hear a giggle at the end, the happiest priest out there. I can concur with this because I listen to his podcast, Whole Counsel of God, every now and then, because Father Stephen DeYoung is very smart and he makes very good points, and I learn from there, so I listen to it, and he does kind of have that tendency to throw in a giggle at the end of his sentences. So, but Alex, it was reviewed. Yeah, well, as Jay said, that priest has a reputation for leaning more towards the ecumenist side. And again, I get you put reviewed in quotes. Yeah, it was reviewed. That doesn't mean he made any changes pursuant to the review. So, okay, let's get back to the video. Again, I'm being disciplined today, guys. I'm not getting lost in the chat.
It doesn't give the person their entire life to repent.
Eastern Orthodox apologists say in response that the Pope doing something cringeworthy or being in error is fatal to Catholicism because of the Pope's claim to be infallible. The Pope can't make mistakes, they say. However, according to them, the patriarchs and even national Orthodox councils can make mistakes, and so those mistakes can be ignored as they don't falsify.
Everybody is permitted to make mistakes. The Pope is permitted. We're not saying that the Pope made a mistake. We're not saying that there's a mistake in the magisterium. We're saying that according to your guys' own terms, you guys have a contradiction in the magisterium. Alex, for future streams, can you talk about Oriental Orthodoxy and their claims and history versus ours? I would have to prepare a little bit for that. And right now I'm spending, okay, I'll admit it, guys. I am preparing for my debate with Elijah, and my time is being spent more there. That said, in the first quarter of 2026, I do want to start talking about the non-Chalcedonians because, well, I think hopefully we have good terms for communion between us. That's the most ideal situation, right? Until then, until that happens, however, I feel like their tactic lately has been to pose as canonical Orthodox, and I think that's kind of misleading to people. So I don't think that's right what they're doing. They should, excuse me, be identifying themselves as non-Chalcedonians, at least like more obviously. Father Stephen DeYoung says, my first master's was from a Roman Catholic school, so I had seen firsthand that the church they defend and promote isn't the one that exists. Trent goes to a Byzantine Rite church. Yeah, all of these guys go to Byzantine. Matt Fradd goes to Eastern Catholic Church. All these guys go to Eastern Catholic Church. I'm pretty sure all of them go to East. They are like trying to be us as much as they can without being us. Elijah is a much better papal apologist than Trent. Well, yeah, he's almost Orthodox. And if he actually follows the conclusions, you know, of the history, hopefully he'll become Orthodox. And that's my desired outcome for our debate. But, you know, again, like I said earlier, that's probably his same goal with me too. So, okay, back to the video.
Mistakes can be ignored as they don't falsify orthodoxy. But Catholicism teaches that the Pope only acts with the charism of infallibility on very rare occasions.
Objection, relevance. Nobody's talking about fallibility or infallibility. We're talking about what you have to believe as a Roman Catholic. He's just beating around the bush. Bryce J in the chat. Dude, the chat is stacked again, dude. The chat is, we have Jay, we have Bryce, we have Father Stephen DeYoung, we have Cleave to Antiquity. We are stacked. Dude, the collective IQ of this chat is quite high, I would think, right? I'm proud of this. I'm proud of you guys. Hit pieces are whack AF. I can't believe they make entire videos trying to defame someone. Say, yeah, this was a hit piece. That's your spot on, Bryce. So, most stacked chat on YouTube right now. Yeah, I would go that far. I would say that if you take our collective IQ, I think we'd be pretty high up there. Indefectibility, not infallibility. Also, whether every Christian is bound to err. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I think Jay dipped. Ah, well, that we take a hit there on the collective IQ, but nonetheless, we still have pretty good high IQ here. So, Byzantine Catholics are hella pick-me girls, to be honest. GGF, what's up, dude? Good Godfather GGF has recently decided to convert to Holy Orthodoxy, so glory to God. We have more and more converts coming to. We're bringing in the heterodox into the church, and that's why this work is important, guys. Ultimately, like all this, the point of all this stuff is to bring heterodox into the church. Bryce J. Official says, please pray for me because I have to debate Ben Thorpe on the Filioque tomorrow. Say a quick prayer for Bryce, guys. However, I know it's good. We should pray for him. However, I have full confidence in him because he has so much familiarity with this topic that he will just, I'm sure he'll just skate circles around that guy. So, debating Thorpe won't help your hairline. Bro, you guys are brutal, dog. What he lacks in hairline, he makes up for in beard. And, I'm not in a great position to speak because I have some worries myself about my hairline. So, yeah, Bryce is a very good debater. He basically has debated all of TikTok on whether orthodoxy is true or not.
Occasions. Most of the time when he teaches authoritatively, but not infallibly. So if the Pope were to err when teaching, it wouldn't falsify Catholicism. So even if the Pope were wrong on, say, the death penalty, he would just be making the same error as the leaders of Eastern Orthodox churches. But I don't think this bothers.
But it's not the same because there is nobody in the Orthodox Church that has the same jurisdictional and authoritative powers as the Pope. It's just the same errors over and over again.
There's many online Eastern Orthodox apologists because the patriarchs and National Orthodox Church councils really serve more as ceremonial figureheads, so they can use what looks like
Benantium Emperor says, pray for our hairlines. That's yes. I think if we put our collective efforts in here, we might get this. His name with the Cyrillic alphabet says, do you plan to do a short video about this video around 15 to 20 minutes? I do not. This is my response to the video. It's a bad video. It doesn't deserve that much, like, to put in the editing and script writing, and I'm just going to do like a live on this. So you got that Romanian DNA. Your hair will stay thick and healthy. Bro, I hope so, because it's kind of hit or miss. What's your take on Eric Ibarra's arguments for the papacy? I mean, I agree with Ubi Petrus, obviously. I think I don't want to say, like, look, I'm not saying that Eric Ibarra is a dummy or he's a bad guy or something. I looked at it, and in my opinion, Ubi kind of hands down won that debate. Okay. All right, we're being disciplined. We're going back to Trent.
like a Protestant method of individual doctrinal formation, neitly wrapped in the aesthetic of ancient communal tradition. To see what I mean, consider the issue of whether Catholics and Muslims worship the same God. I've already done a whole
It says they do on its face, man. Like, this is so much cope. So much cope.
episode on that subject where I say I don't like that specific language, but I affirm Muslims, like anyone, can know God exists from reason and direct acts of worship to God.
Yeah, that's the debate that Trent had with Jay that Trent lost on natural theology. And notice that throughout this whole video, Trent makes no mention of that debate, right? Because like, if he felt confident that he beat Jay in that debate, he would be taking clips from that debate and putting it here. But I think this kind of tells us a little bit about Trent's state of mind, that he recognizes on some level that he lost that debate because he's not posting any clips from it.
In that episode, I addressed Jay Dyer's arguments that Muslims cannot be said to worship God because they reject God being a Trinity. But how does Jay know that he's correct on this point, given, as I showed in my reply to him, that the Greek and Russian patriarchs say Muslims worship?
The Bible says that if you reject Christ, you're antichrist. I mean, this is not a controversial claim for Jay to make. Like, this is a very basic, this is the Bible. This is Christianity 101. It's pretty ridiculous. He doesn't like the language cope. Yeah, it's just like, that's what the document says on its face. Just bite the bullet, man. It's not very intellectually honest otherwise.
Worship God. And even saints revered among the Orthodox also say this about monotheistic non-Christians.
Yeah, this is in a different sense. I think we can hear Jews believing in God and our God too. Even our Lord reminds them in the gospel that they recognize no other God than the Father of the only begotten, of whom ye say that he is your God. Are we then to call the Jews Christians because they too agreed to worship the God whom we adore? So, I mean, obviously, on the Holy Spirit against the Macedonians, is this like what, St. Basil? I don't even know. He doesn't even put the citation in here. Who is that? Whatever. Is the debate with Ubi the one on Matt Frad's channel? Yeah, the one I'm talking about, the one that Matt Frad hosted. Yeah. So at the end of the day, great. We might have a saint saying something. The Bible says if you reject Christ, you are antichrist. You reject the Son, you reject the Father. Like, I don't know. Just because, like, there's some language in passing here that uses like the term God kind of colloquially. I don't think on the whole, and I'm thinking because it's against the Macedonians is probably one of the Cappadocians. So I don't think they would say that Jews necessarily worship the same God.
Watch Jay's reply to me and notice how he finds assurance that his personal opinion on this doctrinal question is correct.
Even if it were correct, and even if Gregor Nyssa spoke out of hand, it wouldn't matter because we aren't, as Orthodox, bound by every statement that a church father says. We're not bound by...
Yeah, that's true. That's why councils are so important, because it's what the consensus of the church fathers is. And a council has like 300 bishops or whatever, depending on what type of council, the size, you know, what they're discussing, and political considerations. It's St. Basil. Yeah, I thought so. Is this my go Alex Soren live? I'm trying, brother. It's super consistent with the streams. Okay, now that you bring it up, I am going to Mexico in a few hours on vacation with my family. So you guys will not be hearing from me for like a week. But I do have that first part of the interview with my spiritual father that will be landing on Monday for everybody. It's up for it's up for members right now if you want to go watch it. The comments have been like super receptive about it, so I hope you guys like that. And then I'll be posting on X if you guys want to follow me on X, and also on Instagram as well. So Father Stephen DeYoung says he nicely clipped that before St. Basil said no. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is like it's very clear that he's trying to prove a point here. And what I've learned through editing is that like there's nothing here that's on accident. Like everything is done very intentionally. Like, you don't edit things in or out really on accident. I don't really get that. Everything is a very intentional choice. Otherwise, I don't think you're really doing a good job. So yeah, I think the fact that he clipped out before St. Basil said no, him or his editor, somebody made a very conscious choice there. We're at in Mexico. We're going to Cancun. Going to Cancun for 7 days. St. Basil was saying Macedonian wasn't a Christian by comparing him to Jew. I mean, well, then, you know, a little bit of context kind of undermines his entire point there. Thank you, Father Stephen, for bringing that up. That undermines his entire point. Oh, super chats. We got 2,500 CRC from DannyTown0326. Thank you for the donation. They can't direct acts of worship to God because they reject who God is. The Catholic God, it's just a generic monad that they share with the Muslims. Yeah. Maybe in a way they do worship the same God because they worship in essence. They don't worship persons, right? Good Godfather GGF, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Eric did the Ubi review with me because he couldn't face Ubi again. He dipped on reviewing with Ubi. Ubi is a smart guy, dude. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to overstate this, but if I remember correctly, he can understand Syriac, Greek, and one other language, maybe Hebrew. He knows like three languages with scholarly proficiency. So escape that bitter Michigan winter. Yeah, it's a little bitter, man. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be nice to take a week out there and you know, just chill and probably plan. That's what I will do. I'll make a 2026 agenda for the YouTube channel. I'll make like Alex, please don't die in Mexico. You guys think the cartel is gonna get me? No, the cartels have deals with the resorts. As long as you stay on the resort, you're good. Cleve is gonna take over for Soren for the week. Yeah, guys, I'm not streaming this week. You guys should. Cleve was like, he took 4 days off streaming last week. You guys should go check out Cleve stuff. So interview on Monday. Say less, bro. I've been waiting. Yeah. So this first part is just kind of like his backstory, like how he became a priest, how he is who he is, like his life as a monk, and monasticism, how that influenced his life, and yeah, it's pretty. It kind of lays the foundation for, you know, well, he's gonna answer all these Q&A questions. Why should I listen to him? Well, listen to that, and you'll know why you should listen to him. So highest IQ electrician, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty high IQ move to go into the trades as well, a place like Vegas, right? So St. Gregory calls Macedonius an atheist. I mean, again, that really undermines what Trent is saying in this video. Like really, really. So like, again, he's focusing on the trees and he's forgetting about the forest, and it's coming to bite him in the butt. Another $5 super chat from the Sanjo A Savage. The Sanjo A Savage 7442 donated $5 through super chat. Thank you for the $5 donation. Will Trent make an argument in this video? He does make arguments, but they're bad arguments. He's like, now it's kind of, he's just kind of talking smack at this point. He makes some arguments, but they're bad. So he does make an argument eventually. Or is this all just straw men and non sequiturs? Well, and they're bad arguments. P.S. Have a lovely vacation. Stay on the resort. Brother, you know I will stay on the resort. I'm not about to go. I'm not looking for an adventure at this time. So let's get back to the video. Discipline today, boys. Discipline.
The varying canons that many church fathers propose. We recognize that no bishop is infallible. Every bishop can become a heretic. Every bishop can say things wrong. John says in the book of John, you have an anointing and you know all things. So I don't need a magisterium to know truth and falsehood.
You think Jay... is saying that each individual Orthodox Christian knows all things. Like, this is ridiculous because he's not interacting with the best arguments that we have. He took like some passing remarks from Jay's stream and is like trying to strip them of the context. So that's it's just kind of goofy. I think anybody who's watching this would be able to see through this.
Because every person who has been chrismated in the Orthodox Church has a direct connection to God.
How is that any different than Protestants saying they have the Holy Spirit guiding their personal interpretation of Scripture and church history?
And it's because you took it out of context. But God really used Trent to help me come to the support of the Deuterocanonicals, so I can't really stay mad at him. Yeah, that's my whole point, is like, Trent has some good work. This is not it. This is not Trent's good work. This is bad work from Trent. And frankly, I don't think it's representative of the product that he usually puts out. Like, there was a video where he was talking about the word theopneustos and how it kind of just means like life-giving. If you look at other Jewish texts from like the same time period, and it doesn't really mean what Protestants are trying to make it say it means. So yeah, Trent isn't evil, just a very low tier. He can be higher tier, but I mean, like, dude, the thing that kind of bugs me is how Jay was like very polite and courteous in this formal debate, and none of the clips in this formal debate that Trent lost made it into the video. At least I don't think, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think they made it in.
Now, Orthodox apologists might say they aren't relying on their personal interpretation because they have an infallible tradition or sacred tradition to guide them. But how do they know the specific contents of that infallible tradition?
Not every part of the tradition is infallible. There's a hierarchy of authority. It's just they're not interacting with the best arguments that we have to offer, and that's very annoying because I don't know how. Like, we've been repeating it for years and years and years. Well, Jay has. I've been repeating it for weeks and weeks and weeks. So, gotta pray for him with the salvation with his wife too. Who are we talking about? Benantium Emperor. Oh yeah, I'm lost in the chat. Let's go back to the video.
Orthodox, because Catholicism contradicts what I think is true, is a bad argument because by their own standards, Eastern Orthodoxy itself may contradict what they think is true. Or
it's not the same system, my man. Like, I don't know. And it's also like, that's not what we're saying, that a mistake invalidates the whole system. We're saying you have contradicting things that you have to believe at the same time. It's like a very simple argument. And because it's so simple, they have to make it complicated. But like, dude, let's just keep it simple for a second. You have to believe things, contradicting things. Brett Sales donated $10. Thank you, Brett. You're the man. Appreciate you. I have to bail. I'll watch the rest tomorrow. Keep up the great work, brother. Thank you. I appreciate the donation. You are the man, Brett. Well, Joe Heschmeyer also has some of the best. I like Joe. I like Joe Heschmeyer. So yes. His wife has cancer. I heard about that. Yeah, I saw the video. That is pretty sad. And again, like, I'm not saying Trent is a bad person or like all of his work is slop or whatever. Like, I am saying this video is bad and this video is slop, and it amounts to a hit piece.
Orthodoxy may leave a theological question open and not condemn the Catholic position on the matter. And there are many other cases where I advise gung-ho online Eastern Orthodox apologists to stop and reflect for a minute before you try to dunk on Catholicism. For example, Jay Dyer reposted Taylor Marshall lamenting the decline in mass attendance, and Dyer said, "Papism is dying, Orthodoxy is exploding."
Yes, that's what you say on Twitter. That's not where you go to get someone's nuanced opinion on something, is Twitter, dude. Val Orthodoxia in the chat. What's up, Val? You're the man. Father Stephen DeYoung says, we actually live out our tradition in liturgy and life. Yes. It's not an intellectual system dictated by a magisterium. Correct. It is much more than that. For Roman Catholics, lex orandi non est lex credendi. So, yes. Benantium Emperor says, yeah, agreed, this was a hilariously bad video when the Pope is actively saying to have fraternal law. Yeah, that's a pretty funny point too. Bryce says, hear me out, you, me, Luigi, Mario, and Cleve. Ortho Bro Podcast Cup. Bro, I am in, dude. I think we have like a good variety of approaches there as well. Like, you got you, resident philosophy bro, like Cleve has like that pastoral background. Father Stephen doesn't miss an Alex stream. Dude, I don't miss a Father Stephen book. So I'm flattered that he's in my stream. So yeah, anyway, this is my point here is that like, what do you expect on Twitter? You expect like a very nuanced position? No, that's goofy.
But the same Pew study Marshall cited that says only 29% of Catholics attend Mass weekly says only 23% of Orthodox attend Divine Liturgy weekly. What about the large number of cafeteria Catholics who disagree with major church teachings? We can find similar rejection of church teaching on issues like abortion and homosexuality in large groups and even majorities of lay people in predominantly Orthodox countries. But what about scandalous liberal Catholic priests? Well, you can find liberal Orthodox.
Slop. Nobody makes these arguments. Like, oh, you have liberal priests, therefore that invalidates your worldview. Nobody's arguing that. Father Stephen's atonement book is going to be on bro. Father Stephen, you have to prepare your bank account for that one, because I think with like all the Latinizers on X, and of course everybody just wants to learn about the atonement, right? It's a very like mysterious thing. So yeah, I think that one is going to go like hotcakes. Father Stephen, save a copy for me, please. I would love that. Jay Dyer pointed out that the study about was about Goarch. If that is true, his point is mute. Oh, so it was just like the one jurisdiction. I mean, yeah. Also, it's just like a bad argument. Nikolai says, TikTok is cancer. Not sure how long I will keep mine. Honestly, I just use it for the editing part of it to get short clips, and then I post them on YouTube Reels and on Instagram. I feel like the captioning technology they have is superior to like a lot of the other platforms.
Orthodox priests and bishops who create scandal around things like so-called same-sex marriage. After some
Yeah, so we have some bad priests. So what? It's not the same as having a bad pope, and we're not making that argument. It's just weird.
Orthodox priests said that lay people should not view Jay Dyer's content, Dyer lashed out at them for not addressing the rampant liberal problems within Orthodoxy.
Yeah, this is a good thing. You should call out the liberal problems within Orthodoxy. That's not a bad thing. It's good to have discussion over these things. We should have a dialogue. I mean, if we're gonna like be dropping names and whatever, like, I don't know. I don't think I'm in a position to comment on that, but because like I'm kind of the new guy. But I mean, I think we should have discussions about that stuff. So, I don't know. This is like a bishop problem. I stream to Twitch to TikTok because engagement is very easy. That's what I think. Yeah, the big pro is for TikTok. Slop hit piece. Yeah, that's what it is. And we're 6 minutes and 24 seconds in. We have like poisoning the well, fallacies, arguments that nobody makes from our side. Just he's not willing to engage with the best that we have to offer. Does he think Jay is actually our pope? I think that's like a construction they make in their head. Like they convince themselves of that. Like, if I can just take down Jay, then like I'll take down the whole thing, you know, because he's like at the top. And I think they just kind of think that way. Also, I think they like genuinely hate orthodoxy. Like, I think it makes them seethe. And I think they hate Jay. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I don't know their hearts. I'm speculating when I say this. I don't, but I think they like really like Jay makes them seethe, man. Like Jay makes them crazy. Like, look, Trent otherwise is like a pretty good, like pretty well-spoken professional person. Now, as soon as it comes to Jay, it's like poisoning the well, bad arguments, just like sloppy work. Like he kind of hates him, dude.
He posted a meme saying that they should focus instead on real problems in the Orthodox world related to
Yeah, so again, Twitter is for memes.
Abortion, homosexuality, and deaconesses, one of which was ordained in Zimbabwe under the Alexandrian Patriarchate. Dyer also wants to debate Catholics on Vatican geopolitics.
This one guy on Twitter said typical social media stuff. Orthodoxy refuted. That's what this amounts to, man. It's sloppy. It's bad. Like, I don't know why now we have to like respond to this. Is bad. Like this. Let's debate whether modern geopolitical forces are a better explanation for the 20th century Vatican action. Dude, why hasn't anybody debate? That's a good point. Why hasn't anybody taken up Jay on this debate? Because Jay knows more than like probably any living person on the planet about the geopolitics of the papacy. Jay's mean, Alex. You don't get it. I guess I don't. I might join that list too now just because I have low tolerance for sloppy work from somebody that I know actually can produce like some high quality work. Like this was a bad video. Actually, Alex, I am working on a new Advent alternative for the Orthodox. This is from Nikolai. It isn't done quite yet, but the goal is to make it free with an option to sub for some quality of life features to cover the cost. I think that's a good idea. Because like new Advent's like kind of outdated already, and we know they're using like the Roman Catholic, the Latin versions of everything, like whatever translation helps their position the most, right? So, but you know, I was reading through Uncut Mountain Press, their 8th Ecumenical Council book, and there's so much evidence that the Latin versions of the Acts of the 869 Council were like vehemently tampered with. Like the days of the week don't match up with the number dates, if that makes sense. So like it'll have a certain number day of the month, and it'll give you the month, but then the actual day of the week doesn't line up with that that day. That like doesn't happen typically in these kinds of documents, because the Byzantines were so into getting these dates right. And if you compare them to like the manuscripts we have from the 879 Council, like the quality is night and day. The 879 Council, the documents from there are like very well preserved. Like everything matches up, everything aligns. But the 869 ones, like the Latin versions, are like really, really, really bad. Alex, take me on vacation. Take me with you on vacation. It's cold in Indiana. I love you, bro, but not that much. Sorry to break it to you. JB Peltier donated $5 through Super Chat. Apologetics has been nothing but playful jousting for like 50 years. Jay showed up with a real sword, and they're upsetty spaghetti. Yeah, they had a nice little... dude, it's kind of like a racket. It's kind of racketeering, if you think about it. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, like fixed boxing matches, right? Like, you know, let's punch each other a little bit and beat each other up. But, you know, let's... I'll go down in round 6 and we'll figure it out. But we'll, like, make it look a little even, you know? Like, I do kind of get that vibe sometimes. Not from, like, look, I talked to Joe Heschmeyer. My interactions with him were, like, very good. He's a very nice person. Of course, I don't think his work on orthodoxy is good. That's why I'm Orthodox and not Roman Catholic. Like, interpersonally, though, he seems like a nice, cool guy. Same thing with Elijah Yassi. Like, he seems like a cool guy. Just, I disagree with them on these issues. Jay's autism is literally too powerful. I don't think he's autistic. I think he's just like, he's such a brainiac that he loses patience with people because they can't keep up, and he gets a little impatient, and it comes off as like maybe he's neurodivergent or something. It's not. It's just he did all the readings, dude. That's what it's like when you have a gap so wide between you and, like, you know, a random 19-year-old kid that's calling in that hasn't done a lick of the proper readings. So, okay. Rocky Balboa doesn't realize that Apollo Creed wanted an exhibition match for show. Yeah. Cool. Okay, back to the video. Discipline.
Politics, as if the Vatican's political involvement disproves Catholicism. But Eastern Orthodoxy has a long history of secular rulers, like the Byzantine emperor, being deeply entrenched in church leadership. Even today, the
Dang, I mean, wasn't that also the case weren't there at least 7 ecumenical councils that Trent accepts that were called by emperors? Like, I don't know. Neurodivergent is very diplomatic, but so gay. I mean, I work in a professional environment. My brain is wired a certain way, man. And Jay has heard all the gotcha arguments before. That's the thing, is that, like, you have, like, imagine grinding away, like, doing all the readings, you know, like grinding through Augustine, like coming, and also like reading critically, not just like skimming through it, like notes in the margin, sticky notes, underlining, circling. And like, you did all these readings for like 10 years, 20 years. You've been doing all these readings, grinding away. And some kid shows up, he thinks he's going to pwn you in a debate because he like watched a Frank Turek video or something. That's like kind of insulting. I mean, like, I don't blame him for being upset. So Jay also never lets anyone get away with assumptions. I mean, yeah, because he's a good debater. Jay's a skinny black woman with birthing hips. He's also got baby fever, so he doesn't put up with RC filibustering. Yeah, what's his black woman name? I forgot. Trent casually admitting EO is the original church. I mean, that seems to be an entailment of what he's saying, right? Yeah, Jay is goated.
The Russian Orthodox Church is accused of being a propaganda arm for the Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, none of that disproves Eastern Orthodoxy. So
Because it's decentralized, dog. Like, that's why we argue against the papacy. You can't argue the papacy back to us, dude. Like, they're trying to argue the papacy back to us, but we don't have a pope. How many pages do you think Alex has read in a day? I can tell you it depends on what I'm reading. I read James White's book on the Trinity in a day. It's because it was like not good. It was bad. That said, if I'm reading like Dumitru Staniloy, Saint Dumitru Staniloy, that's going to take me a while to get through because I don't know. Or Saint Maximus the Confessor is like, all right, we're going at like a few pages a day kind of pace if I'm really working on comprehension here. So
Those similar accusations don't disprove Catholicism. And if Jay says Catholicism has an infallible charism, so it's different than Orthodoxy, I would respond by pointing out, again, that the Church's divine guidance does not guarantee every prudential decision church leaders make will be good.
Yeah, we're not saying that. We're not arguing that. Like, Val says, bro, I used to think Trent was pretty smart. What is this? This is slop. It's bad. This was like, I agree. This is not his standard work product that he puts out. But like, as I said, I have a suspicion, like I don't know for sure, but I have a suspicion that he just doesn't like Jay. Like he hates Jay. So James White is so sassy with his little bow tie. You guys are so funny.
Or even that all their teachings will be correct. A Catholic teaching that has not been infallibly defined could be an error. If these kinds of teachings did not exist, then it would not make sense to have infallible definitions of doctrine, because by this standard, all doctrines would be infallible.
Yeah, again, we're just talking about what you have to believe as a Roman Catholic, and Mani Generis makes it pretty clear that you have to submit. It's religious submission of intellect and will. Right here, I'm pretty sure. Again, so this is an official translation of papal documents, so you can't say that I have like a bad translation or something. Okay, this is... Okay, I'm not going to go to Lumen Gentium because people will say that it's just pastoral or something. Here is Dorem Veritatis from John Paul II. When the magisterium, not intending to act definitively, so this is fallible teachings, they teach a doctrine to aid a better understanding of revelation and make explicit its contents, or to recall how some teaching is in conformity with the truths of the faith, or finally to guard against ideas that are incompatible with these truths, the response called for is that of the religious submission of the will and intellect. This is fallible teaching of the magisterium. You have to submit your religious submission of the will and intellect. You have to believe the fallible teachings of the Roman Catholic Church. That's what this says. The willingness to submit loyally to the teaching of the magisterium on matters per se not irreformable. So they use like double negatives a lot, which is like, that kind of bugs me because it's like inefficient. So like they'll say non-infallible teachings. Like, just say fallible teachings. Like this is such a, like, why do we got to complicate things? You know, you only complicate things when you want to hide something. That's when lawyers complicate things. They're trying to hide something. That's where we know where to push in the discovery phase of the case. If they're trying to obfuscate things, they're using like all this language, all these abstractions. Oh, well, we should get to the bottom of this because this is what they're trying to hide. So in any case, this says that the willingness to submit loyally to the teaching of the magisterium on matters per se not irreformable, so matters that can change, that must be the rule. You must submit loyally even to those teachings that can change. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about infallible contradictions. You have to believe these things. These are the things you have to believe as a Roman Catholic.
Infallible. But they are not all infallible, because the Catholic Code of Canon Law says no doctrine is understood as defined infallibly unless this is manifestly evident. That's why I said,
you know what else? You know what else the Code of Canon Law says? I have some canons in my phone because I wanted to do some further like legal analysis on them. I'm glad he brings up the canon law here, actually. So Canon 331. The bishop of the Roman Church possesses supreme, full, immediate, and universal ordinary power in the church, which he is always able to exercise freely. And here is to the papal minimalism folks that may be listening. The Roman pontiff, this is canon 333. The Roman pontiff has the right to determine whether he's going to use his power, exercise his office in a personal or collegial way. He is not obligated to exercise his power in a collegial way. He has the option to exercise his power in a personal way. This is recognized in the canons, in their canon law. Yeah. It is for the Roman pontiff alone to convoke an ecumenical council, preside over it personally. The Christian faithful, this is the canon I was looking for. The Christian faithful are bound by Christian obedience to follow what the pastors of the church declare as teachers of the faith, or what they determine as leaders of the church. So it's like, it's in Donum Veritatis, it's in their canons. You have to listen to you have to believe the ordinary teachings of the church. Like, how is this a crazy, great stream from dude, Jay's back. Thank you. Canon law isn't not infallible. Yeah, dude, those double negatives are horrendous. Non-infallible teachings. These are non-infallible teachings. Just say they're fallible teachings. Like, it's so annoying. Jay says, in my debate with Trent on natural theology, he makes the same self-evident ad hoc moves. Yeah, I was just making the point that I don't think he quoted, I don't think he took a clip from that portion of the debate at all in this entire video, because he probably realizes he lost that debate. And he doesn't want to bring it to people's attention. So, all right, back to this nonsense.
Complaint about the Second Vatican Council saying Muslims worship God does not disprove Catholicism as a whole, because even if that teaching were false, it's not an
Jay never left. He's just menacingly lurking and assessing Soren's power level. Well, I'm still holding back. I'm not trying to, I haven't been making a lot of content on Roman Catholic stuff because, you know, I don't want to spend everything I have an advantage in that I have not been making videos for like 4 or 5 years like Elijah Yassey. So I'm not trying to, I don't think it's like a secret what kind of argument I'm going to make. Like, you know, I argue the facts. I'm going to argue like what happened and how people acted. Right. So I don't think, like, I'm not trying to surprise Elijah because I don't think that's that said, I don't have to tell him everything. I was here but talking to Father Moses. Yes. I hope Father Moses is doing well because he's been taking some heat from these these goons lately. $2 from Backseat Sauceman 1. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Just wait until Trent gets to the part where he tells you to lie to yourself to remain Catholic. Oh, keep watching. It's coming. All right, bet. All right, let's get back to the video. Discipline.
Fallible definition.
Guys, keep on donating. Thank you. I appreciate that. JB Peltier with $5 super chat. Thank you, JB. These guys hire a production staff and don a collared shirt just to get bodied by guys spamming papal quotes into an iPod Touch. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if the up and comers in Orthodoxy, like, you know, Ben Luigi and myself and Christian Mario and Cleve and Bryce and Val. Like, imagine if we had an organization like Catholic Answers, like, backing us up. Imagine, bro. Elijah's been making content for 5 years and he still has only 4K subs. I think he took like a year off or something. Bro needs to step up his game. I mean, I don't think he like took it that seriously. So, is Yassey an Oriental or a Muslim? I think he's Chaldean Catholic or Byzantine Catholic. I don't know. We were considering trying to get Trent to do something in January or February, but I doubt he will. Well, I mean, because he got bodied last time and it seems like from this video, for some reason, he just can't stand you. Like, it seems like he hates you. Like, again, I don't know his heart. I don't know his mind. I'm not his priest. I don't know. But it just seems like whenever these people like Joe or Trent, whenever they see Orthodoxy, they just like seethe. Like, they get so mad. And I guess, like, whether you like it or not, Jay, you've kind of become the figurehead, like, thankfully, because I think you're a good figurehead for like this online Orthodoxy realm. But they hate it. I don't know why, but they hate it. I think they just seethe. You guys should debate epistemology. I mean, I think we both know how that would go. Trent accidentally bodied himself. Oh yeah, you guys said something was coming up in the video. Phoenixer donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Thank you, Phoenixer. I appreciate you. The ecclesiastical, trust me, bro is crazy with this one. Like, yeah, that's basically what it is, man. Like, there's no substance here at all. Again, I don't think this is representative of Trent's product, typically. It's just like bad work product. So let's get back to the video.
Or a dogma that cannot possibly be false. And in some cases, Jay complains about statements from the Vatican that aren't even church teachings at
Hey, he's been talking about Jay for 3 minutes, okay? This is a 15-minute video. He's been talking about Jay for like 3 minutes now.
all.
The actual Vatican source that MC Loftdog pulled up, which refutes what Trent says. The Holy Spirit that guides the church is at work in the religions. The universal.
Okay, two things. Like, this is a live stream and he's speaking colloquially. And second of all, he's at Vatican.va. This is from the Vatican. It's from the Vatican's website. It's from like probably a certain commission or dicastery or something. But like when Jay says it's from the Vatican, he's literally at Vatican.va. Like what else is he supposed to say? Like this is so weird. Like everybody has to speak with like total 100% accuracy. Like all like, do we really have to say like which dicastery is this from or like which commission? It's just so crazy. It's just an impossible standard that they would never impose upon themselves. Jay says they hate it because people are leaving and they can't hang apologetics wise. That makes sense. It's maybe a job security thing. I doubt Trent will debate unless he really thinks he has something to gain from being defeated brutally again. I did not see that comment going that way. But yes. So W clip, by the way. Okay. Oh, we have a question in the chat. Hey, I got an honest question. If orthodoxy only has salvation, why are priests so calmly telling people to convert instead of doing it with more urgency? I guess I am used to the Jude 23 method. Well, because priests have their own flock and like everybody has their own role in the church. Not everybody's called to go out and be like a street preacher. Like, I mean, we have people that will do those debates, like at Speaker's Corner, like Orthodox Christians and stuff. I would say that's a similar thing, but we have a lot of quality control in Orthodoxy. And I mean, ultimately, we trust God to be like, look, I have been in front of many judges in my life, some like very good, very smart judges, and some judges that are like, this is a little mean, but like dumb as a rock, like very, very unintelligent people that just got there because they were like friends with a governor or with a senator or something, like very unsmart judges. And I have full faith in our Lord that he will be the best judge, and you cannot complain with how he will judge, right? So thing is, I trust God in how he's going to judge everyone, that he has the most comprehensive judgment of each person, right? So let's get back to this slander here. It's like 3.5 minutes. He's only been talking about Jay.
The presence of the Spirit cannot be compared to the presence in the church, although one cannot exclude the salvific value of the false religions. This is the 1997 Vatican document clarifying what you see in Vatican II. So notice they don't explain things, the pop apologists, because they have some idea that this is absurd and obviously a contradiction. They don't explain things the way they're.
Also, didn't Jay get this from Michael Lofton? Isn't that like one of their guys? What's up, Celestium? Thanks for coming. What's up, Catherine? A priest's job is not always to be an apologist. It's a tough job. Yeah, apologist is a really specific calling, right? There are even like, I think of Justin Martyr, who's like the first like famous lay apologist, right? It's like not all clergy are built to be debaters. Sometimes it's lay people that do that, and they just proceed with the blessing of the clergy. So, notice me, Jay Sama, Trent Tsundere Horde. That's funny. Typically, priests online give a sermon about a topic. Yeah, because they're trained pastorally. They're not like Jay is trained in philosophy and philosophical argumentation. Yes, I got this from Loft Dog. Yeah, that's their guy. So, meanwhile, Trent is complaining about this. It's weird.
Vatican does.
The Catholic Church often permits theological opinions without officially teaching them. For example, the church permits competing.
I missed a super chat. George Kirstov 7712 donated $19.99. Dude, the fat wallet too, and that's the one that I forgot to look at. Their dissolution of lex orandi, lex credendi causes them to argue discarnately. Forgive me, it's like a transformer arguing the legality of their passport designation. Pay no attention to the Adam's apple, bone structure, etc. I think that's a good analogy. I think the analogy fits, George. Thank you very much for the super chat and the donation, and for the insight too. That's a good observation, I think. Orthodox Wario, what's up? $2 in the chat. Trent is a known homosexual. Guys, come on. He is married to a woman who we should pray for her, because it is very hard to dude, if my wife was going through that, if Jen was going through that, I'd be terrified, like horrified. Like I think it's good that he's still putting out content, although this content is not good. It is bad. It is not his best work. So yeah. We got Orthodox VTubers before GTA 6. That's okay, back to the video.
Dominican and Jesuit explanations of predestination, without saying one of them just is what the church teaches on predestination. Likewise, the International Theological Commission, which is the document J.
Yeah, so this is not what we're complaining about, that on some issues there's a permissible range of views. We're not complaining about that. We're complaining about, like we saw in Donum Veritatis, that you have to believe even the fallible things. You have to have religious submission of will and intellect to even the fallible teachings of the church. We're complaining about when you have two things that you have to believe that are incoherent with each other. They contradict one another. You cannot believe. Val Orthodoxia says, what's up with his wife? His wife has brain cancer. It's quite sad. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to deal with that. That's like, I mean, I pray that God would give me the strength to, but yeah, God save Trent's wife. Yes. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. That's really hard. Salt Shack, how do you know he's married? It could have lacked some element that will only be determinable if he or she requests an annulment. That's the thing, dude. That's the thing. That's what we're talking about. And then, like, yeah, I guess that the implication too is like, well, if the marriage was never valid, then are all the children like out of wedlock? You know, you just have a bunch of, like, pardon my French, but like a bunch of little bastards just like running around. Like, I think Catholics are just low-key jealous of Orthodoxy and how based and cool are. Honestly, Catherine, I think you're onto something there. And I think Cleve was making this point too, that he was saying, I think a lot of Catholics like Roman Catholicism because of like the Latin and Frank aesthetic. So, yeah. Trent just toots his own horn. Got him. Yes. Octavian33, what's up, dude? Welcome to the chat.
Citing, does not publish official church teaching. Instead, it publishes permitted opinions that have gained a consensus among members of the magisterium. And the document Jay cites is not in error on the point Jay raises, because it says salvation, quote, is not produced independently.
I don't know. Were we reading the same document there? Like, okay, so they have like a CYA here, right? Like, you guys know what a CYA is. It's cover your ass. This is like a little CYA. But it said that like the other religions, I remember reading this document myself because I was like, Michael Lofton kind of was telling the truth for once here. Like this commission or whatever it was, this committee basically said that what you see in the other religions was salvific. So that's like a huge L, dude. Huge L. So I think he's just doing some like ad hoc, like Jay said, ad hoc CYA here.
Of Christ and his church. It also does not outright say other religions have salvific value. It discusses the question.
I'm pretty sure it did, but I don't really feel like going back. I'll give it to him for this one because I don't feel like going back and checking, but I'm pretty sure it did say that there was salvific value in other religions.
Of whether we can say non-Christian religions that predispose people to truth have salvific value. This is why the document talks about, quote, the possibility of the existence of salvific elements, and says whether the religions as such can have salvific value.
Yeah, that's a problem. They're saying it's possible. That's not a good thing, Trent. That doesn't help you, Trent. That helps us. That's not good. That's a bad thing, saying that it's a possibility. Like, that is so goofy. It says salvation is possible. Yeah, that's what I remember. My reading of the document was accurate. It says salvation is possible. Yeah, I agree. That's what I remember reading too, because I remember around the same time I also read it myself. That's what I remember taking away was, okay, the point of this is that it says salvation is possible. And like here, let's say that this is like, we're being charitable here. It says whether the religions as such can have salvific value is a point that remains open. This is also bad. This should be closed. This should not be open. This is not complicated. This is just the Bible. Orthodox Wario says, honestly, if this level of wrangling is needed, how can they say the Pope is a symbol of unity? Well, I mean, they're not unified. They're not. They're centralized, but they're not unified. Pope Dyer is wild. Why? I mean, it's just a online fun little thing. Like, we don't actually think he's the Ortho Pope. He's just kind of like the biggest channel and the best, most proven debater time after time. Jay, I declare my reading of the document as self-evident. Boom, case closed. Let's go. That's right. There you go. You don't have to do any of this work, Jay. Like, why are you wasting your time doing work? Just declare it. Name it and claim it. Meanwhile, look at me and Jay over here, Bryce, and like all these other guys that are grinding, Val, and we're grinding over here. So like, make sure our reading is accurate. We're trying to go through like all the footnotes, what they're citing, to make sure that we're doing a good job and that we're not like promulgating false views, right? Because we know we're going to get checked by Father Peter Hears in like 5 seconds if we say something false. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing. But like, meanwhile, like this is the slop that the other side is putting out, dude. Like, we're trying so hard, man. And we're putting in so much work, and we're actually doing the readings, and these guys put out slop. It's a slap in the face, to be frank. It's disrespectful, is what it is. Zeke, the 20 gifted. Zeke, guys, can I get some W's in the chat for Zeke? W Zeke. Yes, Cleve is back from the cruise. Big Zeke. If Trent can appeal to self-evident, can't I? I mean, if we're going to be consistent, yeah. I agree. He's got to be consistent. Zeke, thank you so much for the 20 gifted. God bless you and God bless your family. W's. All right, let's get back to the video.
Value is a point that remains open. So that document doesn't say what Jay claims it says, and it isn't even an official.
I think it does. It says enough, Doug. It does say what Jay said it says, and it's enough. Father Stephen DeYoung, Jay, Cleve, Bryce, Val. This chat is stacked. Yes, dude, it is stacked. I have the most stacked chat in YouTube right now, for sure. Dude, we got like a bunch of big brains in here. Dude, this thing is going to keep on going forever with the membership thing. W20 gifted. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you. Trent just destroyed Roman Catholicism. It has no identifiable dogmatic teachings. Yeah, I think that's also a big problem that Jay is getting at, too. That's like, we know how to identify the infallible teachings because it's what the entire church agrees to. Those are the infallible teachings. They don't really have a way to do that because you could have like these ecumenical councils where you have something more authoritative than that. You have an ex cathedra statement. Like, so it's a big problem from the Roman Catholic perspective. I know I'll have to rewind the stream. Is Val another EO channel? Yeah, Val's been making videos for a while. His channel's bigger than mine. I like seeing the extra spicy takes from Father Stephen. Dude, I love Father Stephen. He's great. If you want to see more of his takes, subscribe to his YouTube channel and to his Twitch channel. Because he'll do like open Q&As and address he addresses the Twitter drama as well. Yeah, dude, if I was not like such a goober when it came to like the streaming software, I would just invite all these boys in here right now and we'd have a big party. Tearing this thing to shreds. Dude, we'd be here until tomorrow morning. I'd miss my flight to Mexico because we'd all have something to say. So, okay, back to discipline, back to the video.
Teaching of the church. In that respect, it would be like many documents proposed by Orthodox theologians that Jay or other online apologists might disagree with, but don't disprove orthodoxy. Now, Jay is correct that Catholics must submit even to the non-infallible teachings of the church.
Okay, so that undermined his entire video, dog. Like, this is the thing that frustrates me with this kind of sloppy apologetics. Like, it's not to the point. They beat around the bush, they complain about things, and they'll like malign your character. And then they'll take like Twitter posts and be like, look at this like doctrine that he believes in based off of like a meme. And they don't take the best things that we have to offer and present that. It's like, this is a pretty like going out of your way to mischaracterize something. Yo, Cleve, teach Alex how to bring guests on. Bro, it's because so StreamYard, I don't like that watermark. And I have rules for this endeavor. Like I kind of want my YouTube thing to be self-funding. I don't want to add any more money to it. So like all of the gifted memberships, the super chats, those all help immensely, guys, for like increasing software and whatnot, you know, getting more books and more material, producing more videos, and getting guests on too, because I think this reaction content is useful. There went the whole video in that line. Yeah, he undercut his entire, the whole video. It was undercut by that one line. Like there goes the whole video. You have to believe the fallible teachings as well. Okay, then what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? I don't get it. What is the point?
Including the teachings of the Second Vatican Council. But since those teachings are not infallible, that means, in rare cases, a Catholic could privately, not publicly, but privately fail to accept these teachings.
Okay, notice how he phrased this, though. He was basically, you'd never have permission to privately disagree.
It's correct that Catholic, but since those teachings are not infallible, that means, in rare cases,
so probably not you,
a Catholic could privately, not publicly, but privately fail to accept these teachings.
Yeah, so in rare cases, so probably not you, you can privately disagree with these teachings, but publicly you still have to defend them and believe in them. So this is like so goofy. This undercuts everything he's been saying his whole video. So like, remember that critique that he made a few minutes ago where he's like, oh, so if you're an Orthodox, you're kind of like a Protestant because you just kind of pick what you believe out of the patristics, right? Well, isn't he saying the same thing here? Isn't he literally saying the same thing? So like, it's just, there's so many levels of irony to this, because he was complaining about how we make arguments about Roman Catholics that undermine our own position, which was not true because our systems are so vastly different, like the Roman Catholic one being centralized, ours being decentralized. This argument he's making right now undermines his own position. It's so goofy, man. It's so bad. Popes have affirmed multiple times that Vatican II is magisterium and magisterium cannot err. Yes, popes have affirmed multiple times. And I don't get how Trent can run from that. Like I spent like maybe 3 hours one day, like researching this. Like where on earth is Trent getting this from that you don't have to believe Vatican II? I couldn't find it, dude. I think he just makes it up. So, okay, back to the video.
If they have a proportionate, serious reason for doing so, and such an act would not constitute the grave sin of heresy or the rejection of dogma. And for more on what to do if you think a non-infallible teaching is an error, see my colleague Jimmy.
Dude, again, non-infallible. Can we like cut it with the stupid double negatives? Like, just speak like a normal person, please.
Or the rejection of dogma. And for more on what to do if you think a non-infallible teaching is an error, see my colleague Jimmy Akin's article on what to do if you're having trouble accepting a church teaching.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just have to accept it, even though you can privately disagree. Which is like, you probably cannot. Dude, I'm missing some of the comments. Father Stephen DeYoung, in these videos, I have to pretend I believe this garbage. Oh, Father Stephen DeYoung with the zinger. In these videos, I have to pretend I believe this garbage, but I know it's stupid, so get off my case, Jay. Am I misreading this whole thing? So it's like, he doesn't hate Jay or see that Jay, he's begging for mercy from Jay. Jay, please lighten up, bro. That's so funny, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's funny.
That's linked below. And all this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you'd like to see even more examples of poor arguments from popular Orthodox online personalities, check out my colleague Joe Heschmeyer's response to Father Moses McPherson.
Oh my gosh, they hate you guys so much. They hate you guys so much. It's crazy. Dollinger said he had trouble believing Vatican I. Rome said, too bad. Yeah, you have to believe, if you're Roman Catholic, you have to believe what the Roman Catholic, like, this is fundamentally not a controversial claim. If you're Roman Catholic, you have to believe what the Roman Catholic councils teach. You have to believe what the papal encyclicals teach. This is like not optional. You have to believe these things. Trent knows deep down that Vatican II is a problem. Yeah. I mean, yeah, don't we all? Val Orthodoxia, bro just throwing his colleagues under the bus. I mean, yeah, now what? Do I go react to Joe Heschmeyer? And it's like literally that video about Father Moses, I intentionally did not respond to it because I didn't want to give it the Streisand effect to where like we give more attention to the video by talking about it, but it's at 90K views now. I mean, might as well, right? And like this, it's basically the same tier of material that Trent produced in this video against Jay. Utter nonsense. Just sloppy work. The Council of Ephesus didn't say I can't have a plump booty on my face. Oh my goodness, my channel's demonetized now. Or this video. Dude, that video by Joe was so bad, it starts with poisoning the ocean. Forget about the well, he poisoned the whole ocean, dog. Yeah, it's the same approach that Trent took in this video. It's character assassination. It's a hit piece. He like compared him to Mr. Beast, and I'm like, dog, this is a guy who actually experienced some things in his life. Like he posted a recent video about his testimony about how he had like a troubled childhood and like an unsteady family life. Like he's been through a lot. This man has seen some things, right? This is not like a guy who had a privileged life. Orthodox Wario donated $5 through Super Chat. Thank you, Orthodox Wario. God bless you. I'm a Catholic, but privately I don't believe in filioque, absolute divine simplicity, the Pope, or the Immaculate Conception. And they go to the Byzantine Rite. That's is that the part is where you're leading up to? And I'm an apologist on YouTube. Like they all have the same thing, dude. It's the same profile for all of them. So, did you say Sloppy Joe? Maybe I did, Doug. There's a double entendre in there that I missed. So, Nikolai says that the video of Joe literally takes two different answers from Father Moses and cut them together. Yeah, it's a hit piece, dog. When is Alex debating Joe Hesch? As far as I know, we're on the books for April 26th. As far as I know, we are on the books for April 26th. And we are on the books, myself and Elijah Yassi, for January 2nd. So look out for those two dates. January 2nd with Elijah Yassi and April 26th with Joe Hesch. So I got to give him props because like when he took me up on that, my channel was like, I still have a small channel, but my channel was smaller than it is now. And he still treated me like a normal person. Like I don't think he was looking for clout or anything, or maybe he just saw an easy target. Like he assumed that I would be an easy one. So Uniate, yeah, they're all Uniates. He's basically a Uniate. Yeah, that's the Uniate position. What Wario described. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'm a Catholic, but privately I don't believe in filioque, absolute divine simplicity, the Pope, or the Immaculate Conception. That's the Uniate position. $4.99 super chat from Celestium VT. Thank you, Celestium. God bless you. The Pope is going to send you a very nicely worded letter now. Perhaps. I don't know, would that be binding on all of the faithful? Or do I get to decide whether or not it's binding? So, okay. Alex sent this live stream to the Pope for review by live streaming it to the world. I mean, if they're going to be consistent with the logic. Amish have been real quiet online lately. All right, I'm getting distracted by... I'm getting sucked into the chat. You guys are too funny. So let's finish up this video here.
Which included things like Father Moses saying that sex abuse cases show the gates of hell prevailed against the Catholic Church, even though the Orthodox, like most major religious bodies and secular bodies, also have abuse scandals. Finally,
I think he was really emphasizing the institutionalized nature of the sex abuse scandals. And like, again, this is just like a tertiary point that Father Moses was making. It wasn't his case in chief, right? But again, this just goes to show that the decentralized structure of the Orthodox Church like protects the church from scandals like that, because it can't even become systemic throughout the whole church because of how decentralized it is.
Finally, you may have noticed my channel rarely discusses Eastern Orthodoxy, and there's a reason for that. There are already numerous Catholics who engage.
He loses all the time. It's probably why. And actually, this is a point that I'm going to let him talk through this one because I did want to address the point that he makes here.
Orthodox related content, so I'd rather devote my finite time and energy towards other topics and groups that get less attention. My deepest desire is to reach the greatest number of people who are the furthest away from Jesus Christ. That's why the first books I ever wrote were on atheism, the furthest away doctrinally from Christ, and on abortion, because grave sin makes one the furthest away from Christ from a perspective of salvation. I want to help as many people as possible come to know the person of Christ. And there are around 2 billion people.
I don't really have that much atheist material on my channel, but I think Jay has like more than sufficiently produced good material. And like there's a lot of material refuting atheism out there. Like I mentioned before, like I'm a fan of John Lennox. And again, there are like limitations to those kinds of arguments about like arguments from proving the existence of God from math and objective truths in the universe. I think I agree with Jay that like Tag is probably the strongest argument. It talks about, argues that the possibility to have debate, meaningful debate at all, is the necessary precondition for that is the Christian triune God, which I think is correct. So almost 300 viewers, Alex. Welcome to the big league. I mean, yeah, hopefully you guys stick around. I appreciate all the support that we get, and I tried to be I tried to be engaging. Yeah, Kyle has pretty good stuff too on atheism, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It's hard to remember every single person, dude. But the thing is, like, okay, listen to Trent's next point though about his work on Protestantism.
People over the world who don't believe in any religion. In the United States, while millennials have become less non-religious, Gen Z has sharply increased, with nearly half of that generation saying they aren't religious at all. And globally, there's another 4 billion people who believe in God, but not in Christ. So if I were going to spend more time doing research and creating content on other belief systems, it would be the most common ones that deny Christ, like Islam or Hinduism. Even in the US, with a generous assumption there.
I mean, we have dude, who's Fearless Truth? Is an Orthodox guy who's like, basically like an Orthodox Sam Shamoon. Isn't he like a young guy? Fearless Truth. He has a bunch of Muslim content and he's Orthodox. Oh, I misspelled. Yeah, this guy. I'm pretty sure he's an Orthodox Christian. He's like a young Orthodox Sam Shamoon, but reasonable and arguably more stable. So we do that kind of work too. And of course, Jay and these other guys as well.
1.5 million Eastern Orthodox. There are still twice as many Hindus, 3 times as many Muslims, and 4 times as many Mormons. So that's why I would spend more time addressing these non-Christian groups. When it comes to those who do know Jesus, I'm going to focus my limited resources towards sharing the Catholic faith with those who do not have valid sacraments like the Eucharist. Because I believe Jesus when he said, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life within you.
Okay, this is why Orthodox try to bring in Roman Catholics. This is why it's important to us, because we don't think the same way that Trent sees Protestants is the way that we Orthodox see Roman Catholics. So this like moral posturing that he's doing, where he's trying to like, I don't know, morally posture himself over the ortho bros online. Or like, God forbid you have a bunch of young men that are zealous about theology online. Like, yeah, valid sacraments. This is why we have work that goes out to Roman Catholics. We don't think they have valid sacraments. So Fearless Truth is fire. Yeah, I think he does good work. He is an Orthodox Christian, right? I'm pretty sure he is an Orthodox Christian. Father Stephen DeYoung says, how many people are atheists because the Christianity presented them as bogus? That's an excellent, excellent point. You can't bring people to Christ without bringing them into his church. Yes. W, Father Stephen DeYoung. That's an excellent point. Fearless Truth needs more recognition. Fearless Truth does, he's a good apologist think he's a good debater. He's Orthodox, yes. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think he needs a little more recognition. That said, like, he reached out to me maybe like a month ago or so. So like I've made his acquaintance. We haven't really had a chance to talk yet, like me and the other guys. The Sanjoa Savage donated $5 through Super Chat. Thank you. How is Trent going to argue against Hinduism when Pope affirms they can know and worship God? That's a major problem. I'm just like so dismayed at this video. I can't even be triumphalist about that point now. Vatican II destroyed all RC apologetics, and yeah.
That's why I just released a new book called Salvation is from the Catholic Church. And when it comes to Catholics leaving the church, the majority of them, 24%.
I subbed to Fearless Truth. Thanks for the rec. Well, if you remember, Jasberg, if you're in his chat or you catch a live or something, Alex Soren sent me. It looks quite good, and it helps us build relationships with other channels. Most Catholics and Protestants are straight up moralistic, therapeutic deists and not Trinitarians. Yeah. Why do you have a white screen on YouTube? Oh, because this is the Brave browser, man. I'm going blind. My bad. I'll switch it to the night mode. Nick's show on Rumble is a podcast, basically. Yeah, get Fearless Truth on for a Muslim debate review. Yeah. That would be a good idea, actually. Thank you, Proto Baldy, for that idea. That's a great idea. Oh, I need advice. I'm Roman Catholic. You came to the right, chat, if you need advice. Like, we have everybody here tonight. I need advice, please. I'm a Roman Catholic and have been to several Orthodox liturgies and Vespers at the only Orthodox parish here, OCA. I want to convert, but I'm still anxious and I leave mentally drained. I mean, I think that's natural, because anytime you have something new and different in life, you're going to feel some level of discomfort. But the thing is, you don't want to make decisions based off of emotionalism, right? You have to make big decisions like this based off of your mind. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, a gut feeling can help you now and then, but like, emotions are good and useful. But emotionalism is when you take your emotions too far and you make decisions based on emotions. You need to make decisions based on your brain. So I would say that, like, look, just, you know what's true. And there were some times when I was inquiring where I was like, man, is this right? And I'd head case about like one topic for like a few hours. And I'd be like, wait a minute, nothing has changed from like a week ago or a few months ago. Like, Orthodoxy is still the only coherent worldview. Needless to say, the only coherent form of Christianity. So yeah, nothing has changed. And guys, if you guys anything in the chat, to our friend here who is Roman Catholic, has been to several OCA liturgies, but is still anxious. I mean, that's a normal feeling, man. Or a lady. $5 super chat from Iron Giant Man 007. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It's still funny that the three-way Timcast debate with an actual Freemason and the most egregious thing to come out of it was the same God fiasco. That guy ended up, I mean, he has a big channel, I think, so I shouldn't minimize him by saying that guy. I just genuinely don't remember his name. He was really, he really had no idea. Like, he was kind of out of it. Like, Dave White says, Alex's video explaining that debate was big for my conversion. Are you talking about the Tim Gordon thing? I'm in OCA, just go to church. Yeah, if it's a canonical parish, it's a canonical parish. That's the most important thing. Look, there's like a lot of stuff that happens at like the bishop level and the regional level, and not all of that, like some of it does trickle down to the parish level. But like if your priest is like a normal person and not a political activist, I think that's a pretty baseline criteria. Right, this is not like you're making a theological judgment of the priest there. This is just make sure they're not weird. So, Alex's video was the only reason I understood anything. Well, it's a really high-level debate, man. You shouldn't feel bad about yourself for that. Just keep listening to the videos. And do the readings. Read St. John of Damascus on the Orthodox faith. Just read like a few sections a day. And just try to make a practice of doing it every day, and you'll be able to keep up with the terminology. There's a lot of lingo in theology, so that's part of it. So, okay, let's finish up this video here. Basically, this is, again, we've been through the whole thing. It's just the same slop over and over again.
Become non-religious, 14% become Protestant, and less than 1% become Eastern Orthodox. It might seem like more do this online, but social media algorithms easily distort our perception of reality. I'm also not interested in polemics meant to convert Eastern Orthodox, because I'm more interested in promoting ways for Eastern and Western Apostolic Christians to be in full communion with one another.
Yeah, so are we. We're just not ecumenists, so we're trying to bring the heterodox back into the church. So this is just a double standard and moral posturing. Metropolitan Saba is awesome. He is one of the best. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, OCA is a canonical jurisdiction. There's nothing wrong with OCA. I get that on the bishop level, there are some issues. But it's you have to take each individual priest on that basis as each individual priest. You can't really generalize and say like the whole jurisdiction is bad. Like that's crazy. That's like a crazy position. I know Jay has had some run-ins with the OCA guys. I don't think he would say the whole jurisdiction is bad. It really depends on each. You have to take it on an individual parish basis. So, okay.
Pope Leo recently said this on a visit to Turkey.
We must also take inspiration from the experience of the early church in order to restore full communion, a communion which does not imply absorption or domination, but rather an exchange of the gifts received by our churches.
Yeah, so become Orthodox.
From the Holy Spirit for the glory of God the Father and the edification of the body of Christ.
I'm genuinely excited at that prospect, which would allow
Well, OCA bishops are problematic. I think didn't one say that Origen was a saint or something? And like not as a mistake or not as a like I think the scandal was that he genuinely thought Origen was a saint. Like and don't take me at my word for this. This is I'm kind of going off of I could be mistaken on this one. So check this before you run with it. Don't be like, "Oh, Alex said it." So you're saying it too, but I think there was a scandal where an OCA bishop said that Origen was a saint. Father Stephen DeYoung says, "It's not that I can't win debates with Orthodox Christians. I totally can easily. I just don't want to." And that's where he's at this point. That's true. That's where he's at. That's what he's arguing. I'm more busy to bringing in with a higher calling, bringing in the atheists back into the fold. Like, I mean, isn't it like more low-hanging fruit to bring the heterodox back into the fold? Like, you have a lot more in common with the heterodox than you do with like Muslims or atheists. I think like on the most general sense of the comparison.
Orthodox churches to function according to their same liturgy while finding a way to restore communion with the Pope. Obviously, this won't be easy as there are serious theological issues to resolve first, but we should focus on those issues and not issues that apply to both Catholics and Orthodox churches equally and are not essential and just meant for getting clicks and outrage. In the meantime, I'll be focusing.
So that's funny because that's kind of precisely what this video was about. He talked about like Jay and just things he doesn't like, but he didn't demonstrate how any of those critiques are invalid. James from Nowhere says that was Bishop Golitsyn. One of my friends asked him to clarify that with the OCA bishop who said that Origen is a saint, and he didn't recant anything. Yeah. So again, guys, this is like hearsay, right? So this is like, take it with a grain of salt, but this is the word on the street. There are a couple of big EO names that think Origen was slandered in history. I mean, his teaching on the apokatastasis is not, it seems to me to be pretty straight up not orthodox. But again, that's like one doctrine, right? But I mean, I go with the councils. Father Stephen DeYoung, you're a lot less irenic in the chat than on video or in your book. I mean, I disagree. I think Father Stephen DeYoung is very consistent. It's just that he adds his laugh at the end in person, and you don't quite get that in the comments. Origen is misunderstood. His Eminence, the Most Reverend Alexander, Archbishop of Dallas and all the South. And I think this can be correct. You can say Origen is misunderstood and also say he's a condemned heretic, right? I don't think those are mutually exclusive things. Father Stephen DeYoung says Leo would help us out by transferring any problematic priests we have to Roman Catholic parishes in the Midwest. Bet. Take all the bad guys. Cleve says I got backbiters when I ran meme pages. It happens. Yeah, it happens everywhere. It's Trent with the two quoque, but they did it first. Fallacy. Yeah, you guys are great fallacy spotters in the chat. St. Maximus has a whole chapter in the Ambigua refuting Origen, so I doubt Origen was slandered. That's a good point also. The Ambigua is like a great tome of knowledge. That said, it's not the easiest read, and if you're like a new Orthodox Christian, don't even bother. You need so much background information to be able to, so much context to be able to understand it. So I mean, you could try, but it would be quite a slog. So, okay, this is basically
on
the end of
reaching
this
the
video.
most people who are the furthest away from Christ. And I hope online Catholics and Orthodox who spend most of their time debating each other will take a break from that and seek after the other lost sheep, especially.
No, thank you. I think that you are a lost sheep. This is our, like, do they not know what our position is? That the Roman Catholics are heterodox. They need to be brought back into the church. Compendium donated $2 through Super Chat. Thank you, Compendium. Who is Irene, and why does everyone want to be like her? I mean, ask our friend Gavin Orland. I once closed an episode of the Lord of Spirits podcast with a rant that began, liberalism is satanic. Where did you get that? I'm Irenic. I think, yeah, I think Father Stephen DeYoung just kind of says it how it is. Salt Shack says the church back then didn't have as good a filter to run Origen's prolific writings through. It was easier to throw it all out, and they relied on other voices. Yeah, I think that's a good assessment. Because obviously not every single thing that Origen said was bad. A lot of excerpts, there are a few excerpts of Origen in the Philokalia. So there are some things that he got right, but I think it's like the apokatastasis thing that he got quite wrong. Alex is definitely ready for Cancun after that video. Yeah, this was pretty bad, dude. Yeah, this was quite bad. How much is left? Well, I'll just play I'll play this to the end. So
The unbaptized who don't even know the Good Shepherd. And I appreciate when Dyer and other Eastern Orthodox apologists do this, and hope other Christian apologists will engage in similar outreach to those who are furthest from Christ. With that said, I'd like to thank once again Father Laurent Cleanwork for reviewing this script, and I'd also recommend his book,
That's just like a preference, right? I mean, in my mind, it makes more sense to bring in the heterodox first and then work on the atheists. Likeich donated $5 through Super Chat. Thank you, Likeich. Thoughts on the papal audience hall being shaped like a snake with fangs where the Pope speaks? I heard about that. Plus, the satanic statue of Jesus in a nuclear explosion. Yeah, dude, those are super weird. I think there's a great argument to be made against that from like aesthetics and beauty. Because you're kind of expressing what's in your heart, man. And when you have this like weird messed up theology, it's going to manifest in your iconography, right? So I think another way of demonstrating that, the Orthodox theology has been consistent is that Orthodox iconography has been consistent. And whose iconography changed? And go and look at the Sistine Chapel. Like, you have in the first 1,000 years of iconography, very modest clothing. Like, women all have head coverings, I believe, except for like some exceptions. Everybody's generally clothed thoroughly. And then you go to the Sistine Chapel, you look at the ceiling, a bunch of naked people up there, dude. Bunch of naked people. Alex Soren is a living VTuber. I mean, we're missing an Orthodox looks maxer. That's you, Val. What are you talking about? What are your thoughts on the weird anime style iconography of the Coptic Orthodox? I mean, there's some room for like national, like cultural variations, right? Like I think Russia has a very distinct iconography. I think Romania too has like almost a bit of a unique style. Like it's kind of a merging between the Latin and the Byzantine, and of course the Greeks have a style, right? Most naked would be St. Mary, but it's theological too. Yeah, Catherine, I think you're right. Wow, I just saw the Roman Catholic snake hall and Jesus nuke. Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Maybe we can pull it up.
Tenos, which I consider
not that. It's super weird, dude. for you guys that haven't seen it. Snake Hall. It's very, very strange. And it's pretty on the nose. Like, sorry. Messing with my OBS. Like, I mean, this is pretty on the nose. Right here. Right. And then if you have this like green filter, and on the left side here are some like comparisons. Yeah, it's pretty on the nose, dude. It's pretty on the nose. It just seems occultish. And it's interesting because you look at Acts chapter 7. That's exactly what St. Stephen accuses the Sanhedrin of doing, a partaking in the occult in his defense against the Sanhedrin. Yeah, like Jay would be the guy to talk about this. Jay probably knows all about this. What was the other one? Jesus Nuke. It's a very weird, very, very strange. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's in the r/oddly terrifying subreddit either. It's like very weird, dude. I don't know. No wonder iconography is a development for them, because like this is so weird, dog. Hey, brother, joining late. Ever hear from Ryan at needgod.net? We need that debate. From Shane Paisios with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Shane. I've not heard from him, although I did make an AI song that I played at the beginning of this video that was basically talking smack about all those people that have avoided my debates. There were mixed reviews on the song, so I'll review the feedback on that because I want to do what I like, but I also... You can't take that too far, right? You got to have some balance in there. So JB Peltier donated $2 through the super chat. Probably the most demony of demonic idols. Yeah, dude, it's weird, man. It's weird. Ryan is only interested in debating large creators. He's a clout chaser. I hear that, but I look at Jesus and whatnot. Maybe he must have like a big TikTok following or Instagram following or something. Because on YouTube, he only has like 18,000 subscribers. No, it's not that big of a channel or something. Like, I think he's like just shy of 20K, maybe, or something like that. So I don't know. I think he's scared of the Orthodox, dog. I think he might have PTSD from when you slapped him down that one time. Like rightfully so. Look up Phil Collins' baby in a South American parish. All right, bet. Bet. Phil Collins' baby in a South American parish. I'm trusting you, chat. What? It's kind of creepy, actually. Take a look at me now. Baby Jesus statue resembles Phil Collins. Oh, man. A church in Mexico has revealed a huge statue of baby Jesus that bears an uncanny resemblance to British singer Phil Collins. The sculpture stands at 6.7 meters tall and weighs 900 kilograms. Wow. Sculpted by Roman Salvador, the work was only intended to fit the church in the town of Guadalupe. A local priest, Rodriguez, told Central European News. There's a space of between 26 feet between the ceiling and the floor, and I ordered a statue measuring 21 feet, but I never intended to make it the biggest baby Jesus statue in the world. However, he did not comment on the inadvertent likeness to Collins, which people were quick to point out as images of the statue began to spread. Dude, it does kind of look like Phil Collins, man. Dude, that's pretty weird. Again, that's an odd one. Silent V 1896 with a $20 super chat. Thank you for the $20. Fat wallet from Silent tonight. Thank you, Silent. Love your channel. Orthodoxy for life. yeah, I'm so grateful for Holy Orthodoxy and for all these guys' work, for Father Stephen DeYoung's work, for Jay's work. It's very like there's a certain clarity that you get with Holy Orthodoxy and a certain peace that you get with being okay with certain mystery, because all that humility is built into the worldview, right? And like glory to God that he brought me through his providence to his church, because it really did change my life. So it offers a healing in your heart that nothing and no one else can offer. I know that sounds cheesy, might sound like a little fruity, but I mean, there you go. That's my pitch. That statue watched a guy drown. Is that true? Is there a story behind that? Look up lactation of Saint Bernard, dog. I'm just looking at that. I don't think I want to, but see, I kind of feel bad because I said I was going to do call-ins, but I kind of have to get ready for my trip. Maybe, is there anybody in the chat that wants to do a call-in? I'll open up the X spaces. Just like let me know, and we can do like 30 minutes or so of call-ins. So let me know if anybody wants to do some like Q&A or something on a Twitter X spaces, and I'll open it up. Korean Buff Jesus is interesting. Phoenixer with 20 gifted. You guys are so generous. Thank you, Phoenixer. W Phoenixer. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Look at that. Dude, the thing is, like, I think that eventually my following will get big enough to where these guys can't ignore me anymore, and then they're going to want to debate me. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, well, remember when I was smaller and you didn't want to debate me, you clout chasers? Like, and I'm going to feel the need to be petty, and then I'm going to have to go talk to my spiritual father, and he's going to be like, okay, Phil Collins. That's a good one. Shane. Yeah, Phil Collins, dude, that's funny. God bless your ministry, brother, from one former Romanian Pentecostal to another. Thank you, Phoenixer. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Although my spiritual father was very clear that when I started the YouTube channel to not be under some like impression. I'm not correct. This is just like common parlance, whatever. I'm not trying to correct you or anything. But I guess maybe it's like an instructive point for everybody where he was like, now, Alex, remember, you're not Joel Osteen. This is not Joel Osteen Ministries. You're not Joyce Meyer. This is not Joyce Meyer Ministries. You're an Orthodox Christian. You are under the supervision of a spiritual father. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that everything I say he perfectly agrees with, right? But I am under his guidance. So this is like Christ's ministry. This is God's ministry. So Trent should call in. Yeah, 30 minutes of call-ins karaoke. Yeah, thank you for the gifted. Thank you very much. Would be cool to hear your take on Western Rite Orthodoxy and how much of that is a cope. I think Father Stephen would be in a better position to comment on that because he's like more in the clergy. But here is my opinion on Western Rite Orthodoxy. Insofar as it is a canonical Orthodox church, I have no complaint to say about. I have nothing bad to say about it. Right? It's a canonical Orthodox church. If that's where you want to go to the Western Rite. That said, and also there's another thing you have to consider that Orthodoxy does have a practice of like, you know, some things from a culture can be baptized by the church, like brought into the church, like certain holidays and whatnot, and that's good. I think that's a good thing. So I see it more as like, dude, this is a bishop problem. It's a bishop issue. And if they say it's canonical, like I'm an apologist, man. I talk about dogmatics and stuff. Like, and it's a more narrow scope than Jay that I talk about. Like Jay is a political commentator as well, right? So I'm over here. I'm just talking about like, you know, some basics of the faith. Wario says Western Rite is not cope. So, no, they'll just ignore your massive following privately and be fine. Yeah, it seems like that. Western Rite is gay, though, Appalachian Lumberjack says. They won't debate you because Orthodox are only 1% of debaters in the U.S. and only 23% debate in person. Yeah. I had no idea Romanian Pentecostal was a thing until I discovered Alex. Are you living in the States, cool dude, in the USA? Because this it's a very large community. And like Val was saying, I did a live stream with Val discussing this. Like there's a huge Ukrainian Pentecostal, like in those that Balkan Slavic area. There are a lot of sects with a T, sects. Little Fish Big Mountain says, I don't know why Western Rite feels the need to have Sacred Heart. Do they have Sacred Heart? That's not good. Sacred Heart is a Nestorian. It creates two subjects in Christ. You can't. Pomazansky talks about it in his systematic theology. The cult of the Sacred Heart is bad. Raf Chelly says, gotta go. Have a great one, guys. W stream. Alex, keep up the good work. Thank you. Father Stephen DeYoung says, so I have to disband DeYoung Worldwide LLC. I think that's fine. So I appreciate the clarification. It is indeed Christ's ministry. I think it's an important distinction in Orthodoxy, because okay, in common parlance, yeah, my ministry, Father Stephen's ministry, like whatever. But like, if we're really gonna be like nerdy about it, it would be if we're really gonna be nerdy about it, then it would be Christ's ministry, of course. Can you do an all-night stream? Yes, if you guys tune in for it, but not tonight, because in 5 hours I have to be getting ready to go to the airport. So the Ambrosian liturgy is great, but there are a lot of holdovers from Anglicanism and Papism. Yeah, I think that's why it needs to be overseen. I think that's why it needs to be overseen by the bishops, of course. So Eastern Rite Orthodoxy is fire. I couldn't go to a Western Rite parish unless I had to. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely prefer, and I prefer my jurisdiction too. It's just because I was raised Romanian, so I kind of really blend with the small T traditions in the Romanian jurisdiction a little more. Yeah, these are like not really material preferences. So, Father Stephen DeYoung, I was just about to apply for a full-time online troll position at your ministry. So, Father Stephen DeYoung says, one of the nice things about the church is that there are a range of things where my opinion doesn't matter, so I don't have to have one. Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the wonderful things in Orthodoxy is that there's a range of permissible views on quite a few topics. It's one of the greater things about Holy Orthodoxy. What else we got going on in the chat here? A number of contemporary saints supported the Western Rite. Yeah. Former Romanian Pentecostals here. I'm currently there and I want to become Orthodox. How did you open to your family about it? It was a really, really contentious situation. My pastor and family act like it's evil and I don't want to ostracize myself. They will ostracize you. They will. They will ostracize you, David. Because they treat it as if you're abandoning the faith. And let me not come too hard at the Romanian Pentecostals here. I don't want to go at them too hard because actually the non-denom independent Bible church treated me far worse than the Romanian Pentecostals did. Like they banned me from the premises indefinitely forever because I dared to utter the words orthodoxy there. And then when I went and I asked them some questions and I was inquiring and I was like, hey, we have some pretty serious holes in our worldview, guys. Like we should probably reevaluate things and like patch up these holes. And instead of doing that, they freaking banned me. I was instructed by the pastor there to stop reading the church fathers. He said, stop reading the church fathers. And this guy has an MDiv. He has a master's in divinity, right? And Father Stephen DeYoung knows that like that does not necessarily mean that you're going to know about theology, right? I understand it's like a professional degree. It teaches you, it prepares you for a pastoral role. It does not necessarily make you a theologian. However, there is something in me that's like a bit disheartened when I'm like, hey, isn't that monothelitism they talk about at the Sixth Ecumenical Council like oddly similar to monergism in conversion? Based off that Joseph Farrell book, Free Will and St. Maximus and St. Augustine or something. and they have no idea what I'm talking, like no idea what I'm talking about. Like I'm speaking another language. Like I was very, very frustrated with it. How do you not know, like, at least like an outline of what happened in the 7 ecumenical councils? I don't understand this. So the Romanian Pentecostals are not that bad. It was pretty like mixed because they're so relativistic. A lot of them were like, I mean, if you feel God there, man, cool, you know. But a lot of the more old school people will be like, they are not Christians. Why are you there? Idolaters and necromancers. Why are you going there? So it will be hard. I would just say, well, Christ says that he came to cause division. That he would cause division and strife, even between family members. That he'd turn son against father, daughter against mother. So that's just a part of following the one true church, dude. But you know what you will see as you go through this journey is that more and more, like the irrational, strange gut reactions that people have to orthodoxy. Like, man, it's not like they just slightly dislike it. It's like they seethe, man. Like they hate it. It's so weird. Like they don't even know anything about it and they hate it so much. It's like such a weird reaction, I thought. So yeah, that's not going to be an easy path for you, David. But I have, dude, there's a quote from Two Paths by Michael Welton, and I don't have it here. And in the introduction where he talks about like, look, I didn't have any friends that were Orthodox. There wasn't like a group that was like coaxing me into Orthodoxy and like teaching me all these things. It was a very lonely and painful journey. And most of these people like didn't like me, and didn't like me going into Holy Orthodoxy. So, but the benefit to that is that you know your intentions are pure. You're not joining Holy Orthodoxy to join a social club. You're joining Holy Orthodoxy because you think it's true. So, and it's almost a blessing in a way because it acts as a bit of a filter. So, Pufferfish says Soren is the best Romanian Pentecostal apologist out there. You guys are too much. How did your wife break it to her parents that she's leaving for Orthodoxy? I mean, it's an ongoing thing, man. I lucked out because my in-laws and my parents are very understanding, and they'll love us like no matter what. So we have like healthy attachments, I guess, somehow. But did becoming a lawyer make you question your faith more, or did you convert before that? Well, I've been a Christian more or less my whole life. Like I had an edgy atheist phase at one point. Like I think we all do. But becoming a lawyer made me appreciate my faith more because you just see the objectivity in people's morality by comparing legal systems across different cultures. And you're like, oh, well, there's something there for sure. Super chat, or was it gifted? Hold on. This thing is collapsed. It's not showing up in my plugin. I hate it when it does that, man. Oh, dude, am I missing super chats? I don't want to be missing super chats. Ah. I can hear them, but I don't see them. Ah, okay. Ephraim96. $2 super chat. Family and I being baptized and chrismated on Sunday. Let's go. That's awesome. I love that. That's excellent, excellent news. Very, very good news. That's like, those are some of my favorite super chats that I got on this channel, guys. Glow907, the $2 super chat. Thank you. How to balance between piety signaling and profanity. I mean, can I be honest? I'm not a big fan of profanity, but I think Jay's reasoning on it is solid. There's a time and place for it. And it's a question of appropriateness, not whether a sound that, air passing through your vocal cords is inherently bad in some manner. Right? I don't think it's that kind of issue. So, yeah, I'm having trouble keeping up with the chat a little bit here. I'm gonna call it quits soon here, guys, because I do have to go get ready. So we're going to start winding down in a moment here. Thank you, everybody who has tuned into the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn the alert bells on so you guys know when I go live. The alert bells are very important. I always forget to mention that in my videos and in my live streams. The alert bells, those are very important. Is there a good Orthodox book about the 7 councils? I think Callisto Swear in his introductory book gives it a decent treatment. I think you just kind of got to go on your own and learn about each one by itself. I don't really think there's a, maybe Father Stephen, if you have a recommendation for that. You know, honestly, what I used was the Philip Schaff 8-volume set on the history of the church. It was a Protestant lens on them, but he actually gives a good treatment to those. And the Pelican set is also helpful. Maybe the real Orthodox used the friends we made along the way. I like keeping the theme of ites at the end, Diorites and Soronites. I mean, me and Jay are on the same team here. So it's, I mean, we do slightly different things, but we're both trying to bring the heterodox back into the church. Except Jay is more of a, what's it called? He's more of a Swiss Army knife than I am. I think maybe I could probably talk a little bit more about lawyering and whatnot. And maybe I'll have some more bona fides after my debate with Elijah on like tactics, advocacy tactics and whatnot. But yeah, Jay is a Swiss Army knife. I'm just here to talk about dogmatics and whether an argument is good or bad. So $2 from, oh, okay, I just read that one actually, from Glow9017. I think I have finally caught up in the chat. My father-in-law said he would have to relearn how to love my wife when we told them. Yeah, some people have really weird reactions to it, dude. Like very, very weird. Essence Energy's distinction is awesome. Yeah, it is. It's the only thing that makes sense as well. You can be confident that you're actually participating in like really having a relationship with God. Octavian33 donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Thank you, Octavian. Before looking into Orthodoxy, I went to a Catholic mosque a few times. Their icons and statues were more dramatic than the Sistines. 16. Yeah. They're pretty wild, dude. I don't even know what to think about it. My Pentecostal friends are always telling me my fortune from their dreams. Yes, that's a thing, dude. I keep on forgetting how crazy some of the stuff they say is. Like, Jay, I watched your videos and I was hesitant for like 3 months. Novus Ordo did the apologetics. To be honest, having "Lady, give me the body of Christ" was already killing me. Yeah. You know what's nice is that I lucked out a bit with my spiritual father, and my spiritual father is my parish priest. So there's something special about receiving communion from my parish priest, from my spiritual father directly. Cussing looks kind of low IQ and trashy. Sometimes it's funny. You gotta, I promise I'm not trying to piety signal. Yeah, it's a question of appropriateness, because sometimes it can be quite funny if you get like the timing and it's just the circumstances are right. W stream, Alex. Thank you very much. Hell, I appreciate that. I don't use profanity, but I often use dated pack animal references. Humble brag by Alex too. For dog, you know I'm not trying to be like that. Paul didn't seem to have a problem speaking emphatically either. Yeah, didn't he use a swear at one point? Have a good vacation, Alex. Thank you. Safe travels to you and the family, Alex. Thank you. Start with apodictic treatises on the procession of the Holy Spirit before you read the triads. It'll make it easier. I do, for some reason, I don't know why, I just found the triads was a little bit harder to read. I think apodictic treatises on the Holy Spirit and Uncut Mountain Press has a really good translation of it and like a nice hardcover. I think that's a great one to cop from Uncut Mountain Press. W stream tonight. Thank you, Benantium Emperor. L Boomer Tech on guest though. Dog, I'm gonna sort it out and then I'll have Christian Avengers. Like, dude, we should organize something for New Year's, guys. We should do like a kicking off the New Year stream, like a Orthodox dudes stream. Father Steven and Jay both in the chat. Soren lives are fire. Shane, you should have been here earlier. We had Father Steven, Jay, we had Val, Cleve, Bryce. You had everybody in here, dude. Amazing stream. Glory to God. Orthodox content's getting so good, and I'm here for it. Yeah, I think we're all like getting into our our groove here. Everybody's kind of developing their own thing. Like Jay's thing is already developed because he's been doing the YouTube shtick for a while. So, but you know, there are a bunch of new guys like myself. I'm still like finding the style that I'm going to use. Bryce, I think he's been doing it for a while, but I think the YouTube stuff is newer. Pelican's church history set is good from Father Stephen DeYoung. Yeah, it's one of the best, I think. And he converted to Orthodoxy, which is cool. Okay, let's I'm just gonna wind down in the chat here and then probably get going. Thank you, Alex. God bless. Safe travels on your vacay. Thank you. Gonna be eating good with all these new and rising Orthodox apologist YouTubers. Yeah, I hope so. Guys, make sure to like encourage these people when you see up and comers, because it really does go a long way. Like, you don't know that somebody's channel could be hanging on like one encouraging comment, right? If Jesus and whatnot, who is 19 by the way, would understand Palamet, dude, that video was horrible. Alex, in the Orthodox Church, you won't catch current. Yeah, dude, the Romanian Pentecostals are obsessed with they call it current, right? But really, it's just it roughly translates to a draft. They think that if there's a current of air in your house, it'll make you sick. Like, you'll catch a cold from moving air. You all see the Russian Pentecostal go up to Father Peter Years. Dude, I just think like that Sarah's Ministry for Christ lady, and then that clip with Father Peter Years in the Pentecostal. I was like, how do they find these people? Of all the priests in the world, that guy found Father Peter Years. Of all the priests in the world, he found Father Peter Years. Like, what on earth? So crazy, dude. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits at this point. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for the contributions, for the donations, and for a W chat. Guys, this was so much fun, and I can't wait to get back to you guys. Alex will be the GOAT as soon as you can pronounce like Ike. Dude, my bad. I keep on saying it. You were told me this too last time, and I forgot. I'm going to have to like write it on a Post-it note and put it on my monitor or something. Yeah, Godspeed and grace multiplied. Thank you, Dusty Soapbox. Guys, absolute pleasure. I will be seeing you guys in a week. As soon as I get back, I'll probably turn the live stream camera on again because I have so much fun, and I know for a fact that there will be plenty of things to talk about, because remember, Cleve was gone for 4 days, and there's an explosion between the Roman Catholics and the Orthodox for like 36 hours. We kept on talking about the Chieti document. So Protestants read church history love Origen, Clement of Alexandria, Tertullian, etc. for some reason. Yeah, Origen is, I think Jay is correct. It has been, he's been extensively condemned in terms of the entire system. So, I know that like one of the factors was the apokatastasis, but like it's the entire Origen system. This is like Jay's thing where like everything is theory laden. You can't kind of isolate certain things within a worldview. It's the system as a whole, right? So, okay, guys, with that little caveat, so I don't have to come make a correction later, like Father Peter Years told me about Saint Isaac. I have to come back and make a correction about Origen. But yeah, he's been extensively condemned, for the record. So, guys, thank you. I will see you very soon. Follow me on Twitter again. The link is in the description. I'll probably still be active on Twitter and like talking smack to people, because that's what Twitter is for. Yeah. So like, please, Trent Horn, don't take my tweets and try to think that that's like some theological treatise or exposition that I'm giving about my tradition, about my position, right? So, okay,